It's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Hey y'all, welcome and happy Wednesday. It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show where we basically talk about all things going on in entertainment news, hot topics, pop culture, you know the drill. Whatever's trending in these good old internet streets, we chat about it on this good old show. So before we get started, if you can please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also be sure to smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And so we got a couple of topics we're going to get into today. I have a Blue Beetle update. We're going to talk about the sexiest man alive. You know, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but it officially came out. As I said, it was going to come out later on in the day, so we're going to talk about that. Plus, we got a lot of Diddy news. They're basically trying to say that his relationship with Harvey Weinstein is being secretly probed by the feds. Albie Shore sent out a cryptic message, seemingly calling for, he said hashtag, like, you know how they have free Britney? He said free Quincy. And so now we got Ray J coming out with some allegations because he appeared on a TMZ Harvey, what was that? Speaking of Harvey's, we're talking about Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Levin from TMZ did a little expose or whatever on Diddy and the freak offs, and Ray J was interviewed, and he spilled some tea saying that people have been contacting him in regards of the allegations and having people tell the alleged victims to stay quiet. Plus, child, I look like Diddy mama has been accused. Diddy's mother, Janice, is being accused of helping him steal publishing or royalty rights from artists, and there may be some lawsuits coming her way. So we got to talk about that. Plus, we have news on DDG, Zendaya, Denzel, and there's even a story about, we talked a little bit about it yesterday about how there were gay adult cinema, adult performers who were coming out as Trump supporters. So now, we got to show the other side. Where we have adult film stars who are clapping back at those pro-Trump, their peers who are supporting Trump. So we're going to talk about that. I got some clips from their TikToks and things of that nature, as well as we're going to break down the story. I saw it over on Out, so I was like, we can just bring it up in here. It's not a lot going on, not a lot of tea to spill. So who knows? This might be a short show today, in case y'all want to throw something up in there. Child, I heard earlier, I just heard before I came online, and you can't make this mess up. Apparently, Donald Trump just gave Amber Rose a job in the White House. And so apparently this bald-headed bitch is about to become the Secretary of Education. You cannot make this mess up. And the fact of the matter is, she's a stripper. And I love my adult people. If y'all be like to clap y'all cheeks in the club and make your coins, make it however you want to make it. But what do this hoe know about the education system? Did she even graduate from College Hill when she was on there fighting Jocelyn? So I just heard that and had to cackle when I read it because I'm like, no wonder we are the laughing stock of the world with this buffoonery that they putting out here in these good old streets. But anyway, oh wait a minute, I just realized my YouTube channel was open. I was like, let me close that before there's some reverb. So anyway, if you have not already, if you can do me a solid, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also be sure to smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Always got to give it a couple of minutes before it starts to show up that I'm actually live. So I don't want to start putting too much stuff in. Let me hit my banner. I see we already got a comment. Felix said I saw that on Perez's Instagram. Yeah, you sent it to me. That's how I saw it. I was just looking at my messages and stuff before I went live, and I was like, what is this mess? So yeah, Amber Rose as the Secretary of Education. I'm like, are y'all I can't. Like, I'm just over it. And then I just seen that Trump was at the White House with old ass Biden. And they sent me here to my transfer of power, peaceful power. I'm like, whatever. I'm just this whole country is a goddamn joke. It really is. I just can't anymore. Like, I'll do what I can, but we are a laughing stock around the world. Even the damn Russians was making fun of Trump. I've seen a video based on that earlier, how they clowning him. And, he's easily manipulated, just like a lot of y'all was easily manipulated into voting for him. He's easily manipulated by the people that he's putting in his cabinet. And so it's the circle of life, apparently, on that end. So Anyway, so let's get into our first topic. And let's talk about Xolo Maridueña, who is revealing that he is about to reprise his role as Jaime Reyes in Blue Beetle. But it's not going to be a Blue Beetle movie sequel. It's going to be an animated series for Max. And I have to say, I'm at first I was a little worried, but I guess maybe not in regards of Blue Beetle, but in regards of like a lot of the streaming things, because I've been like, okay, like y'all taking too long to put shows out. Like Disney Plus, y'all still getting on my damn nerves with how long y'all make people wait before y'all put shows out, and then your shows are too damn short, and there's all this other stuff. But what I've noticed is that there are other channels, specifically Paramount Plus. Taylor Sheridan, I think, is the Kevin Feige of Paramount Plus, because every time I turn on Paramount Plus, a show created by him is all over there. You know, all them Yellowstones and the spinoffs. And then you have Lioness, which I'm absolutely loving with Zoe Saldana. And then you have the what is it, Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. So it's like every show that's on there right now is literally a Taylor Sheridan creation. He's like Tyler Perry, except his stuff is actually watchable. But in regards of Blue Beetle, one of the things I have to say that I've noticed about HBO or Max, whatever you want to call it, is that they have really been they've gotten back into the groove of getting their shows and things of that nature on there. Because now that the Penguin's done, we're about to get the Benny Gesserit series that's about to come out. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if that's this Sunday or next Sunday, but I'm actually looking forward to that show. And I've been hearing it's getting good reviews. And then we have, some of the other shows. Welcome to Derry's come in, and there was a bunch of shows because they show like their upfronts or whatever the case was, like a little trailer of all the shows that's supposed to be coming. So I'm looking forward to a lot of the shows that's coming out on there. Now, in regards of Blue Beetle, I actually liked the movie. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was the greatest, but there were moments in it where I thought like Xolo did a phenomenal job as Jaime. I felt like there was some moments in the movie that really did pull at my heartstrings. That sometimes the comedy was cute or whatever. I just thought that Susan Sarandon was the weakest part of the movie. I thought she was just a weak villain. And then it was just like a little generic in a lot of ways, but I thought that Xolo did a phenomenal job as the character. So hearing that it's going to come out in the form of an animated series, I'm pretty much excited for this. So, according to Deadline, they said the following. They said the Cobra Kai actor recently teased what it means to continue telling the story of Jaime Reyes, the DC Comics superhero he played in the 2023 film, saying there's only one Blue Beetle. This is what Maridueña said in an interview with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because it's in Spanish, but he went on a recent show and talked about voicing the character in an upcoming animated series. He continued by saying the following. He said, I'm so excited to get to continue the story of Jaime. Is an honor, and I just can't wait to see where the heck he goes. It's still so early, but I just know it's about to be the next craziest anime. Earlier this year, Deadline broke the news that the Warner Brothers Animation and DC Studios were working on an animated series based on Blue Beetle. Miguel Paga would serve as director and showrunner, and Christian Martinez would serve as writer. So they said Angel Manuel Soto and Gareth Dunnett Alcocer, or Alcocer, I should say, director and screenwriter of the 2023 film, respectively, will EP alongside John Rickard, who served in the same capacity on the film. Now, Glenn Weissman, who was the EP on the film, will oversee the animated TV series for DC Studios. So a lot of people who were involved in the original film are actually going to be involved in the series. So, the 2023 film centered on Jaime, a recent college graduate who returns home to figure out what he wants to do with his life. Jaime gains superpowers when an alien Blue Beetle scarab grabs onto him. The film also starred Adriana Barraza and a bunch of other people. So, and even George Lopez was in it. But I totally forgot that the entity that controlled the scarab was voiced by none other than Becky G. So I totally forgot about that. But I will have to say, like, you know what? I'm pretty much excited for this because I actually, like I said, I saw even though the movie wasn't the greatest, I did see the potential in Blue Beetle. So I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with this and if, they can actually, with it being a series, make it better than what they couldn't do with the movie. Because the movie, I guess, because it was under Walter Hamada and all of them over there, that it's kind of like had a different kind of energy or restrictions or whatever. So it's interesting to see now that they're going to be up under James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are pretty much running things over at the DCU, or we should just say dealing with all these type of shows that what exactly how they'll allow them, how much creativity they'll allow them to do. I don't think that James Gunn and Peter Safran will stand in the way and be like, no, we want things this way. I think they will give the people who are working on the show the creative freedom to really do what they need to do to make this character um an awesome superhero. Because I always have to say, like, you know, we have so many other superheroes. Like, we always get Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and all these other things, but I'm always open to being introduced to different cultures or different superheroes that show off the significant culture of those people. And I don't know why it's an issue with some people to be open-minded enough to be introduced to cultures outside of what they're used to. I don't understand why people are very standoffish about that, or it's about they want to talk about woke this or woke that. I don't necessarily know if I don't off the top of my head, I'm not even sure if that's ever been the case with Blue Beetle, but I always know, like, whenever there's something that comes out, especially if it's like a female fronted superhero, whatever the case is, we always hear from the incels on social media who are mad and want to throw around the woke word and all this other stuff. Like, if it's not for you, then don't go see it. But me, I'm always open minded. If a movie is good, if the character is interesting, I don't care who's in the front of it. I don't care if it's a woman, a black person, an Asian person, a Latino person, a homosexual, or whatever. If the person is actually going to be willing to do what needs to be done to make the character interesting, if it's a good script, I'm open to checking it out and giving my opinion on it. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are you excited to see Xolo back in action? First of all, I'm actually looking forward to the final half of the final season of Cobra Kai. When does that come out? Don't that come out this month? I'm really looking forward to that because I like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, even though I know people call it a little cheesy, whatever the case is, I like the show for what it is. And it's a little nostalgic for me because I grew up on The Karate Kid. And I'm also curious to see what they're going to do with this new Karate Kid movie that Ralph Macchio is going to be in, along with Jackie Chan. And I mean, I've heard things about it. I've seen the poster, but we haven't seen the trailer yet. I don't know what's the story about, or whatever the case is. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward because I think, like, Xolo is an awesome actor. I like him on whenever he pops up in something. So outside of the animation stuff, I would definitely like to see him. I also want to see that other kid. Oh my God, I totally forgot his name. The one that plays Victor in the Penguin, Renzi Felice. That's his name. I had to look it up. He's a great actor, and I would love to see him as Miles Morales in a live action, Spider-Verse movie, because he definitely looks like Miles Morales. He's young enough to be able to still do it. So I'm hoping within the next 2-3 years we could actually see Renzi in that world, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of Xolo in more movies and television projects. So whatever acting, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, Felix says that I remember when the movie came out, some people were thinking it would do for the Latin community what Black Panther did. I was hoping that it would have done the same thing. I just think that there was a lot going against it. And I think a lot that was going against it happened to be, I guess, the timing of when it came out. Because I went to the movies to see it, and it wasn't a lot of people in the theater when I went to go see it. I saw it in the Dolby Theater with the reclining chairs, and I sat and watched it. And I got a little emotional during a certain part of the movie. If you know, you know, the certain part that happens once we get to the third act. And I was hoping that it would get that way, but I realized, like, watching that movie, I was like, there was so many things going against it. I don't know if there was interference in regards to the script or whatever the case was, or the fact that, you get a lot of these opportunities to make a movie with about a different culture, and then how Hollywood can get. It's like, oh, well, we don't know if this movie will sell. We'll give you the opportunity to make your movie, but, they're going to put all these roadblocks in your way, to give you a small budget, whatever the case is. Then you spend the whole time doing what you got to do with the little budget you got to try to prove that you can make this great movie. Blue Beetle was okay. I saw the potential in the franchise, and I do agree what you're saying here is that Susan Sarandon definitely was not the right choice to play a villain. I would have rather y'all just kind of took the Catwoman route and brought Sharon Stone up there. I mean, She played a character similar to Susan Sarandon, except it was cosmetics and stuff. In Catwoman, even though Catwoman was god awful, it is a guilty pleasure. But if y'all brought Sharon Stone up in there, that would have been more believable because she's played that kind of character before. I couldn't say Susan Sarandon, that it just didn't work with her. With that. Oh, it comes out tomorrow, really. Well, thank you for letting me know. Because I've actually been prolonging the final season on purpose because I wanted to wait and watch all of it together. That's usually how I like to watch stuff. I don't like watching half of something and then I gotta wait months later. I want to be in the moment. So I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna watch the first half of the final season. I'm gonna wait until the second half comes out and I'm gonna just binge it all. Because that show it's like 30 minutes. So sometimes it'd be like 36, 37 minutes. So I just, you could breeze right through the episodes of Cobra Kai in that way. You say it's either tomorrow or Friday. Well, yeah. Well, being that it's I mean, you can't necessarily. I was gonna say, but being that it's Netflix, I would watch. It's probably like that, but it's not necessarily true because Netflix is sometimes they drop things and whenever they want to drop it. Oh, Mel NYC Review said your thumbnail got me to click the vid. I'm now reading the out article. Oh, yeah, it's a long one. I mean, I'll go through that one later on in the show with a lot of these with these artists or whatever. Well, the adult stars. Okay, now speaking of stars, let's get into this story. So I thought yesterday, because that was the rumor that was floating around, but apparently, of course, nobody would be surprised. It was all over Twitter, and Twitter is a cesspool of misinformation. This would be no exception. So apparently, I thought Glenn Powell was going to be 2024's People's Sexiest Man Alive. Well, they done said, oh, hell no, he's not, because apparently who's the sexiest man alive is none other than John Krasinski. Now, I will say this. I know some people are feeling the ways about it, and that's the picture. But I like John Krasinski. I think he's a good actor. Now, as far as like sexy, look, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And Emily Blunt, that's her husband. And that's, some people were saying that she paid for that. I said, y'all said the same damn thing about Selena Gomez when Benny Blanco name was floating around. So yeah, there's the Instagram post. So it says that the news was announced on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert because that's when it actually was supposed to come out. That it was supposed to come out during that time. So everybody was out speculating, and everybody did say, but there was some people that thought that it was going to be not John Krasinski. John Krasinski wasn't even on my radar in regards to who they was going to pick, but that's who they picked. A lot of people thought it was going to be Glenn Powell because he had a great year this year, especially with a lot of the films and him being out and about and stuff. So people thought that was going to be him, but apparently it's not. So they said, yeah, that it was announced on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert with the 45-year-old actor making an appearance in the CBS studio. Saying, look at him, I get it, Colbert said after announcing the actor as the newest receiver of the title, extending his congratulations just as Krasinski surprised Colbert in the studio. Now, Krasinski was an actor, writer, director behind, the Quiet Place franchise. He also did If, which was not necessarily a good movie. I don't even think it did that well in the box office. But he's also married to Emily Blunt, and he has 2 children with her, where it's Hazel, who's 10, and Violet, who's 8. Now, for me personally, I would have rather y'all put his brother-in-law on the cover. His brother-in-law is Stanley Tucci, in case y'all didn't know that, because Stanley Tucci actually married Emily Blunt's sister. So they brothers-in-law. For y'all who need a little bit of backstory. Now, in an interview with People published on November 12th, he shared his reaction to finding out the news and said the following. Wait, hold on. Let me flip it over to this one. I think this video actually moves. So I'm gonna just leave it there on that. So he said, just immediate blackout, actually zero thoughts. Other than maybe I'm being punked, that's not how I wake up thinking, is this the day that I'll be asked to be the sexiest man alive? And yet it was the day you guys did it. You guys have really raised the bar for me. Now, Krasinski also shared his wife's reaction to finding out he would be the sexiest man alive, saying she suggested they cover their home in wallpaper of his cover, saying, do we have that on camera? Because that's like a binding contract, I think he said. My children will love that. It won't be weird at all. Now, the actor noted that the honor will likely change some aspects of his life, saying, I think it's going to make maybe doing more household chores. Now, after this comes out, she'll be like, all right, that means you're going to really earn it here at home. Now, they had Patrick Dempsey last year, in case y'all didn't know. And I could definitely see, like, yeah, Patrick Dempsey, he's got that, he's very attractive, you know, that salt and pepper hair. He was McDreamy over on Grey's Anatomy. But with John Krasinski, it's like, I know some people are going to be like, beauty's in the eye beholder, or well, I don't see it, whatever the case is. There is a sex in the story. Nobody said the most handsome guy alive, or whatever. Just like, even if they put the most handsome person, handsomeness or beauty, whatever you want to call it, is subjective. There is a bit of a sexiness or a charisma. I was going to say charismatic, a charisma regarding John. And I like him myself. I liked him in damn, I almost said Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan. I liked him on that show. I didn't look at him in a sexy way. I was like, you know, I'm just a fan of espionage. You know, anything they got to do with spies and espionage and cloak and dagger type of stuff, like definitely I will sit and watch it. Like I'm always into like spy things and things of that nature, which is why even though I've heard that it's not that there's mixed reviews on it, I'm looking forward to seeing Brave New World, the Captain America movie, because it's taking me back to Winter Soldier era. And that was like my favorite vibe regarding Captain America, what is like that whole spy, 70s spy vision, you know, inspiration, because that's what it comes from. It comes from like those old 70s spy movies that I used to like to watch, or like the Manchurian Candidate and things of that nature. So yeah, basically that is who they chose. Oh wait, I was like, damn, wait, hold on. Cause what was the comment saying? Some people said this makes more sense than Benny Blanco, to be honest. Another person said John Krasinski looked like a lookalike contest at my house tomorrow night. Oh, you thinking you Timothy Chalamet? Another person said forever my Jim. Another person said I'm not mad about it. Jim Halpert. Another person said finally an Asian man. First of all, John Krasinski, is he part Asian? I'm gonna have to look that up. Another person said this is to be the most, I mean, one of the best decisions ever made. Another person said justice for Glenn Powell. Are we looking at the same man? And another person said Glenn Powell was robbed. Another person said he is still very hot, but is the new theme guys who should have won 10 years ago. What does that mean? Oh, they're trying to say it should have been 10 years too late. That maybe he was hot back in his 30s, but not today, Satan. So that's who they chose, honey. But I was like, do they have any other comments on the other picture? Let me see. I don't think they do. Well, I'm trying to look and see if they could open it, but nope, there isn't that. But they got like 3 different photos of him. In case y'all didn't see the other one, which would be this one. Yeah, so there's another picture. So another person said, is the sexy in the room with us? Another person said, you guys should have had him do the Jim fourth wall stare for the cover. And some people, one another person said he's so funny and funny is sexy. So this was like, it depends on what it is that exactly that you're looking for. And I guess if I was to read the article, they probably explain as to why he was chosen. And some people find that he's funny or whatever the case was. I think they were trying to also, in one of the comments that I had read, they were trying to make a joke in regarding of saying that Chris Pratt will be jealous or something or another, because I guess, well, his character, because they both were on The Office, right? They both were in that show together. So I guess that's what they were trying to reference. But okay, that's what they chose. But I'm curious to hear from you guys. Who do you think should have been on the cover of Sexiest Man Alive? I just at this point, it's like it's kind of like Victoria's Secret and the these stupid pageants and all that other stuff. Like, why are we still doing Sexiest Man Alive stuff? Like, it just feels like it's become a bit dated. Whereas like the things that were cute and that we did back in the day, it's not working in today's era. So I don't even understand the point of Sexiest Man Alive, but I guess it's something that people, it's a tradition, so they got to keep it going, kind of like the Met Gala. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Felix says, have you joined Blue Sky? Everyone, I did, by the way, and I'm glad you reminded me. I did join Blue Sky. Um, I posted I was trying to figure out how to post it as a story, because a friend of mine, well, you know, Lanier, who comes in here every now and again, he posted that on his page, like in his stories. And I was trying to figure out how to do it, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm still trying to play around with it. I actually created an account yesterday because I kept hearing so many things of people talking about, oh, it's the new Twitter and all this other stuff. And I had my friend call me yesterday to ask me, he was like, something about Blue Sky. And I'm like, damn, why is everybody talking about Blue Sky today? Like, it was just all of a sudden everybody's talking about Blue Sky. So I was like, let me just join. And I did. So you said, have you joined Blue Sky? Everybody seems to be jumping in. It's run by the ex-CEO of Twitter. Yeah, I'm slowly sitting. And look, Linnea's in the building. We were sitting over here talking about Blue Sky. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I could. Well, actually, if y'all want to join me on Blue Sky, just put it in as the Kris Avalon. That is um my handle. And I joined. I mean, I added a couple of people. So yeah, it's like the Kris Avalon at dot bsky dot social. Maybe I just need to type it in. Hold on, please hold. Oh, okay. So I'll just put that there. That's the handle, Chad. So I officially joined yesterday. I was gonna make the announcement. I did put it in the what you call it, but I was like, yeah, that's the Blue Sky account thingy. If you want to add, you can add. You said Entertainment Weekly just posted that Lady Gaga will be on season 2 of Wednesday. Well, she looked like she played. Well, yeah. Damn, I can't talk. Playing what, that character from that Disease video? I mean, I guess it's like pretty much up her alley that she will play that part. Yes, it does, but you have to send your ID card due to state laws banning. Um, I think that was one of the. Well, look, that was one of the reasons why I joined because one of my friends was on there talking about how he he said that he had deactivated his Blue Sky account, but then they ended up reactivating it. And so then he was like, "Oh, there was another website that he mentioned that was like a black Instagram or whatever the case was." He said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna just put some stuff in there, but then also I'm gonna contribute to, I guess I'll just put my, you know, teen pics and all the other stuff on the Blue Sky." So I was like, okay, I figured that's what that was. So once people start to get wind of Blue Sky, I think more people will be migrating over there and leaving Twitter alone. Because I just heard today, Jamie Lee Curtis left Twitter. Also, Don Lemon left Twitter. He announced that on his show this morning because I was watching it. And he was basically talking about how he left Twitter. It's like a cesspool of like just BS and lies. And at least you don't have to do that over there. So I'm looking forward to like, well, I understand that Blue Sky does like photos and things, but once they start really getting to the place of can we start allowing video, and then I can start posting a lot of my content as in stuff from the show, like the clips and things. I could start adding that to Blue Sky, and then I could just leave Twitter altogether finally. And if they could allow like live streams and stuff, so I think it's going to take some time for Blue Sky to start getting momentum. So there's that. It's like Blue Sky sounds great because if I type MAGA, all MAGA, Trump supporters and Republicans are banned from finding me. Okay. John Krasinski is a good looking man, maybe not a stud, but I could see it. And since artistic talent and smarts with it can make make a grown from the inside out. I understand how you became a contender. Yeah, that's what I said. I like John Krasinski as an actor, and he does exude a bit of sexiness. So if people don't sit and see it, okay. It's like, what do you define as beautiful or sexy or attractive? And that's what people seem to be missing the point. Felix, I joined Blue Sky today and posted my new remix. I saw a friend of mine post about it, so I joined it. Wait, so you can post video and stuff up on there? I'm gonna have to look. I have okay, Sailor Mermaid's in the building. Threads was great, but then MAGA infiltrated it and Zuckerberg became libertarian and it pissed me off. I want MAGA free social media. I do have Threads, but I barely use it. It's just there. But I think that's like with most people I don't think even use Threads. And I think also that when you have Instagram and those other stuff, you can connect Thread to your Instagram. So whatever post that I post on Instagram, it goes into my Threads. So Threads is a waste, no shade, but it is. A lot of my friends are deactivating their Twitter accounts, as they should, because Twitter is a piece, it's just a one big trash box. We're all leaving eggs due to misinformation, and Elon Musk basically ruined it and used Twitter to spread a lot of misinformation to a lot of people, particularly a lot of men, which helped Trump get elected. And now he's got a big role in the White House. Him, Vivek, and Ramaswamy, and now they done gave Amber Rose a job as a Secretary of Education. That dumbass bitch. And they say sexy is a lot of different things to different people. Absolutely. Okay, so now let's get into this Diddy tea. So, oh wait, let me close these other things because I had all this open. So apparently, there's some tea that's been coming out about Diddy's relationship with Harvey Weinstein. They're saying that basically, and it's funny how they're asking this question because I could have sworn I've been saying this as long as I've been talking about the diddler. But they're basically asking, is he the titan of the music industry, similar to how Harvey Weinstein was to the movie industry? And I said that their situations in a lot of ways, especially on the alleged SAs, ring similar. So, according to Radar Online, they said that Sean Diddy Combs and disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein may have a sick connection to one another amid both stars' stunning downfall. Now, they also said that investigators have looked into whether Combs and Weinstein ever crossed paths when it came to their alleged crimes. A source told Radar Online the feds previously investigated whether Harvey's alleged acts of SA violated federal law. Prosecutors looked into whether Weinstein lured women into crossing state lines in order to commit an S crime. Ultimately, it was left the state bodies to charge. Wasn't like a state situation. So they said, but in the wake of their Diddy investigations, those prosecutors have again secretly probed whether there was any connection between Weinstein and Combs and their respective media companies that could amount to federal charges. Combs and Weinstein were photographed together over the years at numerous glam events and after parties. Another insider told Radar Online, these pictures of Diddy getting cozy with Weinstein will send a chill up the spine of all the rapper's alleged victims. Now, Weinstein was a master of using intimidation tactics to cover up his abuse for years, and these shots of him joking with Combs will raise a lot of questions about whether they knew about each other. Now, Peter Laffin, an expert at the Catholic Church, really? Oh, they said on the Catholic Church, compared the two hated stars whose reputations was apparently widely known among those in the entertainment industry. Well, yeah, we've had these conversations about the fact that people in the industry knew, but they weren't being affected by it. They were getting something out of it. So therefore, they didn't care and looked the other way. And now that there's rumors going around that, with him being in jail and all this other stuff, a lot of people are trying to distance themselves from Diddy and are scared that they're going to be exposed. This is according, a lot of people have been speculating this, but Ray J said out his own damn mouth. He said on that Tubi special from TMZ about Diddy and the Freak Offs last night. I got that clip. We're about to play it soon once I get through this story. So they said Weinstein, now 72, was sentenced to 23 years behind bars in 2020 for SA and the R word, but that conviction was overturned this past April after the New York Court of Appeals ruled the trial judge improperly allowed testimony for women who were not directly involved in the charges. So there is a retrial set to begin yesterday, actually, is when they said that it was supposed to begin, because November 12th, today's the 13th. However, Weinstein is fighting cancer in prison and may never see the light of day again. Well, how's the medical insurance in jail? Because if he's fighting cancer in prison, how does that work? He on that IV drip like Diddy was, alongside his mother with them horrible ass wigs she be wearing. So they said a source told Radar Online, Weinstein is becoming resigned to the fact that he could die even before he reaches his second trial. He's frail and spends every day tortured over his downfall. The stress plus the cancer is a killer combination, and he might only have weeks left. Now, as for the diddler, he is currently being held in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn while he awaits his trial date of May 5th, 2025. I actually like that 5525 for the racketeering conspiracy and the trafficking of men and women. He didn't discriminate in the sex department. You do. So they said since his arrest, more have been discovered about Combs' alleged sex parties, which were known as freak-offs. So there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming out about the freak-offs and all that other stuff. And even down to the point where they're trying to say that Diddy's mama, Miss Janice Combs, may have had a little something, something, or may have been involved in some of them freak-offs. But before we get to that, there is somebody from the situation that has come out and is claiming that she helped her son commit organized crimes. So Sean Diddy Combs used his mother's name to allegedly form a criminal enterprise to hide money and other business deals, according to a former friend who worked with the disgraced bad boy Mogul. Now, Dion D1 Best appeared on Daily Mail's podcast, The Trial of Diddy, where he claims Combs used his mother's Janice name to hide artist publishing rights, including deals Best said he brokered in the late 1990s. Now, Best claims that his company, Finish Line Entertainment, signed artists to Diddy who worked on various albums for Bad Boy, including just say Biggie. Biggie's Born Again album, which came out in 1999, which also reached platinum status and sold over 1 million copies. I wonder if that's the album that there was this guy that was talking about how I'm trying to remember the story because he said that he was hired. It was a white dude, and we played the video where he said that he was working on a couple of songs or whatever for Biggie and stuff. And there was some type of sexual stuff going on behind the scenes. That there was a Zoom call, and the guy wanted to pleasure himself on the camera. Like he was saying all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on up in there. And Diddy was hiding Cooter Brown, but he went down and bent down and was sniffing some stuff that probably was that powder. So there was a lot of stuff that was being alluded to. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but because we've been discussing Diddy stuff since he's been in jail. So it's a lot to remember. So now Best was 56 said the way Combs allegedly organized his business deals not only took publishing rights from him and the artists who worked on the songs, but built them out of future earnings. Said all of my publishing rights went to Janice Combs. Best told, well, yeah, if you ever look at the liner notes on stuff, he had Janice Combs, Christian Combs. He always had stuff under his kids' names and his mother's name. And I'm sitting there like, what songs did these motherfuckers write that you giving them credit? That never made sense. Well, I guess when I was younger, I didn't understand what all that was about the publishing and things of that nature. But now that you're older and you know better, it's like, okay, I see the grift that was going on with the diddler. So they basically said, I'm here to talk about the different section of his allegations and what I feel to believe involves his mother, Janice Combs. The Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act is about holding people accountable for systematic actions. So he also added, these actions have caused financial hardship, emotional hardship, but not only myself, but other artists in the business through what I feel was fraudulent and coercive activity. And I think that Janice Combs falls under those guidelines. And, it was real hard for me to find a good picture with her in a good wig, because you already know, like some of them wigs be a choice. They be crunchy as hell. Them old tired ass, dry ass Party City wigs she be having on, probably because she be on all them damn drugs like her son and keep getting them drips. She don't be realizing what she be putting on top of that head of hers. But I will say this, Janice do look good for her age. She's 82, but if she's down with being messy, girl, they better start cleaning out a cell for you if all this can be proven. And that, not only that, but her allegedly helping him out with a lot of the stuff behind the scenes in regards of like trafficking women and things. And we've seen the videos of how they was outside and he was talking about how his mother's getting the IV drip with him and all this stuff. We already know what the IV drip meant back when, from Cassie, what she was saying what that was. When they out partying and he's up for days and he's doing all kinds of drugs and the sex and all that other stuff, how you have to hydrate. So they doing them IV drips. And his mother was doing one with him. And how he was talking about how he loved his mother. And then they was kissing on the mouth and all that other stuff. And people making it like it's weird. I mean, kids do kiss. I mean, I know kids who kiss their parents on the mouth. That's not sexual or um what's the word? Incestuous. I don't think that's what that is. But when I was watching the video, Janice looked like she wanted to get in between her son's legs and start slobbering on his knob. She was looking at him seductively like that was her man. So when you be looking like that, it's bitch, you need to get your pussy played with and stop like looking at your son as somebody who you supposed to be trying to hunch. Cause she weird just like her damn child. So I want to see what else they were going to say because I'm not because every time when I read these damn articles, y'all want to sit up in here and talk about why he's in jail, what he's in jail for, how long he's been in jail. I was like, okay, we get it. We don't have to keep reminding us every damn thing. But he's in a Brooklyn jail and facing multiple federal charges. Like we know already. You ain't got to keep reminding us, child. Just tell a story. So Betts also alleged that Combs did the same thing with songs his company created on other albums, including rapper Black Rob's 2000 album Life Story. Didn't Black Rob pass away? And Combs Forever, which also hit platinum status after it was released in 1999. Now, while historically it was not common for record label owners or record labels to take a percentage of an artist's publishing as part of their signing deal, artists have since pushed back because of the potential future earnings their songs could garner. And I'm like, if the producer worked on it, I do agree that they should be able to take a percentage, but not to the point where their livelihood is at stake. There was a lot of people that was up in Bad Boy that ended up broke, while Diddy out here thriving and giving his mother $1 million for her 80th birthday and getting her, Bentleys and all kinds of other stuff. So y'all sit up here flossing and living a lavish lifestyle while a lot of his artists went home broke with a pot to piss in and a window, without a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, basically. So yeah, that's D1 right there. In case y'all didn't know what he looked like, and then is this picture where you have them coming out the courthouse. What the hell is Janice wearing? Yo, I swear, it's like this lady who be dressing her. Like I swear, like she be dressing in the dark. Now they said other artists who work with Combs, including Mark Curry, have alleged Diddy was able to circumvent certain deals because he allegedly used Janice Combs to seal the deals. In a viral 2020 rant, rapper Mason Betha, aka Mace, claimed Diddy also took his publishing rights away, saying, "How dare this ninja talk about he want receipts?" May said of Combs in the clip. He said, "Let's start with your mother, N-word. Your mother got the receipts, ninja. Everybody," he said, "everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts, ninja." So, every other word, when it comes to certain people, they like to drop that N-word. Now, Bessel left gang life and has turned to religion, don't they always? And now coaches youth sports. Said he became friends with the Diddler and Notorious B.I.G. after they met at parties in L.A. that were frequented by Hollywood A-listers. Beth said the Bad Boy producer will call him up for protection and check in to see if it was safe for him to be in certain areas of LA. It was also at this point that Death Row Suge Knight, who hails from Compton, had allegedly threatened Combs' best claims, saying, "So, by this being my hometown, I knew how to maneuver through the community, through the streets." Beth says, "Let's just say everybody was aware that Suge Knight and Puffy had a situation." Oh, we knew. That's where that whole East Coast, West Coast situation started. Suge Knight was like the Diddy of LA, minus the free girls, and Diddy was pretty much running New York. And so there was a lot of that because I remember at one point the Source Awards, the notorious Source Awards, when all that drama was going on, and Snoop Dogg got up on stage, was doing his Can We All Just Get Along speech, and Suge Knight was out here dropping his little threats, and it was just crazy back in the day. So they said Suge is a big guy. I'm not a big guy, but I have the type of relationship with Suge that I could say, Suge, ease up. And he would respect the situation. As Combs and his artists came to LA to work on music or to party, he became close to Wallace, who was more calm than the arrogant Combs, Beth said. He claims he was with Wallace the night he was killed during a drive-by shooting on March 9th, 1997, just outside the Peterson Automotive Museum where Vibe Magazine's Soul Train Awards after party was held. Beth said that he had warned Wallace a week that week to keep close to him while he was in LA. On that particular night, Beth said Wallace and him were briefly separated as they were leaving the party. The next thing he heard was fatal shots that would ultimately take his life. He said, I never understood how he wasn't with me when we exited through the door. Beth said, I think about it more today. I felt like somebody literally lured him away from me, pulled him away, and like said, let's go this way. He continued, I tried to explain that to him. You know, man, you can't just be moving around by yourself, especially when you're in territory that you are not familiar with. If you know that your life is in danger out in LA, why would you go and put yourself in a situation where if you have the protection, I don't care. But you know what? And I was going to say, I don't care if people think that you pussy for doing that. At the end of the day, this is a music business. People started taking this up a little too seriously when they're getting all up in that gangster shit. And that was a problem that I had with Diddy too. Diddy was out here acting like he was Scarface, literally just like rolling through the streets, arrogant as hell. Because y'all remember Tony Montana was very arrogant in that damn movie. Y'all see what happened to his ass at the end? All the damn mountain of coke he was snorting, then going around talking about, you think you could kill me? You think you could take me out? Say hello to my little friend. Y'all know the lines. And then all of a sudden, his ass got taken out by that assassin. And look at the diddler. Sit up in here and talking about how he wasn't going to get up in this crazy life or whatever because he had found out in college that his father did not die in a car accident, as Janice went and lied and told him. The reality was that he found out that his father was running the streets and ended up getting killed because he was busting guns and stuff about in the street, being a hustler. And I believe his father died when he was 3 years old. So I don't think he probably didn't meet him, but when you're 3 years old, do you actually remember your childhood at that young? So I doubt it. And then he gets caught up in this stuff. So he may have not physically been out here doing the running things and all this other stuff like his father did. But when you playing in this industry of music, it's kind of similar to that whole gangster life. If well, not everybody's getting up in that, but the way he was running out here, like he was like a wannabe gangster. And so now Bess also said that he is not surprised the former mogul is facing a possible life sentence if he's convicted of all charges. He said he watched the viral video of Combs attacking Cassie in 2016 at a hotel in LA. And he said it pissed him off. He said that video, Cassie broke my heart. I have 2 daughters, a mother, sisters. It's like, wow, you can kick on Cassie, but you don't want to stand up to Suge. Well, that's because he was a bitch. We all knew Diddy was a bitch. So I was like, yeah, you're not going to stand up to Suge because Suge probably going to squash your ass like a damn ant. And he wasn't going to run up in there and try to step up to this dude because he knew who he could mess with. So it's easy to pick on a little skinny, high yellow girl or any other women and men that you could pick on because you knew you had the power and they didn't. So he knew where, bullies know who they can bully and who they can't. And you wasn't bullying Suge, among other people, Chad. So I say, well, let's say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of Diddy's relationship with Harvey Weinstein, as well as the possibility that his mother may have had a hand in a lot of his dirty misdeeds? Not only the music stuff and the publishing and how he had a lot of things in her name, but also how was it, how involved was she in the freak offs, and how involved was she in a lot of his dirty deeds regarding the running of the trafficking of the drugs and the women and the men and all that other stuff? And was she getting down with the get down at them freak offs, watching her son get pleasured by a bunch of men and women? Because to me, it's no shade, but Diddy is gay than me, Chad. He's beyond a butch queen at this point. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so Lanier says Twitter may be about to go the way of MySpace as long as Musk is in charge. Well, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. That's why I'm like, this is an opportunity for the Blue Skies and so many others to really step y'all pussy up and try to pull this opportunity of getting people away from those websites. Stop having us depend. Because people, I feel like, until the next big shiny thing comes along, people are going to be dependent on Twitter and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I'm not here for Twitter anymore. And it's only a matter of time. I'll probably be leaving it as well as I was gonna say as well too. I'll probably be leaving it as well. It said, well, the old adage has too proven true. You are known for the company that you keep, so it will be no surprise that Diddy and Weinstein were closely aligned. I wouldn't be surprised either because, birds of a feather and the industry is small. So he hobnobbed with movie stars and all kinds of other stuff. There was a story I was hearing about with Leonardo DiCaprio and for celebrating his 50th birthday. He used to hang out with Diddy a lot. But there was some of that, well, this is according to Radar Online, so y'all can take it as you will. But they were trying to say that at this point, he was basically keeping it like a low-key type of party that he only invited certain people. It was like this big bash, and it wasn't like something crazy, because 50 is a milestone. Like when I turn 50, I would love to turn up and throw like a big bash, because that's a milestone. Not a lot of people get to make it to that age. But with this whole situation, it is just saying, like, with allegedly, because of the attachment to him partying with Diddy in the past, he didn't want to draw too much attention to his party, which would be weird. I'm like, just throw your party. Who cares? But yeah, but we in this whole era of people and witch hunts that because of Diddy, y'all want to try to find somebody that's attached to the situation because y'all want to hang somebody up by the stake. It's not enough that Diddy, is in prison. Y'all want to throw everybody attached to him in prison and start with the conspiracy theories. Okay, so now let's get into Albie Shore, who basically is pulling a free Britney by saying free Quincy, because he feels like his son is lost and have been drinking the Diddy Jim Jones Kool-Aid, and he's been brainwashed and radicalized. Shout out to Quincy. Quincy is one fine ass man, and he looked just like his father. So the R&B singer who shares son Quincy Brown with his late ex Kim Porter, who also was the ex of the Diddler, uploaded a cryptic repost to his Instagram story on November 11th that read the following. He said, nothing breaks a dad's heart. He said nothing breaks a dad heart. Nothing breaks a dad more than seeing his love for his kids turn into a weapon against him. Albie Shore, real name Albert Joseph Brown III, added as his own caption. #frequency. And basically said, while he didn't elaborate any further, Albie Shore has maintained for several months now that Quincy is only sticking behind Diddy in light of his S-trafficking RICO indictment for the sake of his siblings. Now, Diddy currently remains around bars following his September 16th arrest on federal charges and is awaiting his 2025 trial to begin. Now, along with Quincy, Kim Porter was also a mother to 3 children she shared with Diddy, son Christian and twin daughters Delilah and Jessie. But here's the thing. I understand, like, maybe he's trying to say that the only reason why he's sticking behind Diddy is because it's for the sake of his siblings. But I'm just like, at some point, behind the scenes, I just be like, you want to know something? Y'all need to kind of like break the chain and realize that Diddy ain't shit, that he is trash, that he has done a lot of horrible things for a lot of horrible people. And I understand maybe y'all are just scared because you don't understand how you're going to continue the livelihood in which you were raised in, which is y'all were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Y'all never really had to struggle because your father is who he is, and he's probably giving y'all the world. So you never really had to go out and really try to work for the things that you have. So with you feeling like your livelihood is going to be at stake, you're not going to be able to have those things. I can understand like this attachment that you have to this man because that's all y'all know. But all I know is if he had something to do with Kim Porter no longer being in the union, I wonder if y'all going to be as forgiving. But they all rumors. So I can totally understand where Albie Shore is coming from. But I really want to know, and I don't know if it hasn't ever been explained as to why Albie Shore did not have the best relationship with his son. Has there ever been a story in regards of like why they don't have the best relationship? Because it was like, yeah, it seemed like Diddy basically raised him. He refers to Diddy as his father. When it's like, when we look at him, I don't know why a lot of us didn't put 2 and 2 together and be like, well, wait a minute, how's he your father? Y'all don't look nothing alike. Now, you could definitely tell when with a Diddy child, because when you look at Christian, when you look at King Combs, he got that lazy eye. Look like he half sleep every time you look at him. And then you got Justin. Justin he got them high yellow features similar to what the hell? But Justin is with Misa, so that's not even Kim Porter kid. He just got the three with Kim. He got he got Justin with Misa, and then of course he adopted. But he got a lot of damn kids. Diddy got a lot of kids. He even got a little 2-year-old with this Asian lady that he was hunching. I think she had half Asian, but I mean it doesn't matter if she half or whatever. She got some Asian up in her, and she had some black up in her when she had that child with Diddy. And I wonder if he was drugging her and beating her ass the way he was beating on Cassie. So this got me side-eyeing all his relationships because I don't think Cassie was the only girl that he was putting paws on. I'm sure there's a lot of girls out here that he's putting paws on. So I'm glad that Al is speaking out. You know, he spoke out against the whole Kim Porter book that came out over on Amazon and was debunking it. Although I know there's people out here that still believe what was in that book. So I don't know. It was juicy enough to talk about it, but I don't know if it was true or not. But like I said, it was grist for the bill. We talked about it. I wasn't paying for it because I was like, probably all the good juicy stuff was mentioned in the blogs. So you know what, Al? Regardless of whatever happened to your relationship with your son, you still keep speaking out and you keep fighting for your son and your son, and break those radicalizations because according to him, it's like his son been brainwashed and he want his son to be free. But it comes to a point that I think Quincy has to be the one that's ready to break the chains. I understand you sitting here talking about you worrying about your siblings and all this other stuff, and he's trying to play big bro or whatever. But at this point, it's just like, hopefully them kids can break the chain and work it out. And I also think y'all need to stay off social media because I feel like when y'all go on social media, y'all staying on these things about Diddy and all this other mess, it's making y'all look worse. It's making y'all look like y'all brainwashed. It makes it look like that y'all co-conspirators. So I feel like y'all need to just keep your head down, continue to live your life, let the courts do what they got to do, and let your father go to trial. And you keep having your little visits and your phone calls and stuff with him because no shade, your daddy ain't getting out of jail. He in there. And I feel like with this case, he ain't getting away with it. So I say all this, and I've heard people say, well, is Trump able to pardon him? And I'm like, he ain't go to trial yet. So how you gonna pardon somebody and you ain't been found guilty or not guilty? Like you got to go to the trial first before you even think about pardoning people. And then you got Bussy mad ass out here begging for a damn pardon. I'm like, if you don't stop acting like a grifting behind, Miss Jane Pittman slave, and start acting like a human being or something. Somebody with some damn dignity. You out here begging Trump for a damn pardon. But anyway, so I say all to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are regarding Albie Shore and his son Quincy, and the fact that if y'all think that Quincy has been brainwashed by being caught up in this whole situation, or maybe he just loves the lifestyle and that's just the reason why he's looking the other way and all this stuff. Maybe he does have a feeling that his father is guilty of these things, and the only reason why he's turning a blind eye to it is because it will disrupt the livelihood in which he's accustomed to. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to Ray J, because Ray J out here shaking up the room and being messy on social media now. Hopefully nothing will happen to him, even though he did say in a video that somebody tried to take his life recently. And so some people were thinking, but there is no proof of this, is that what if it was the people that were behind, well, it was Diddy kids. Remember, he got into it on Halloween. He was hanging out with Amber Rose and all of them. And Hazel E. He was hanging out with them at a Halloween party, and then Diddy's kids stepped to him like they was going to fight him. And then now he was recently mentioning that somebody tried to pow him and all this other stuff. So that's what he was talking about. But let's get into this. So he recently did an interview because Anthony Busby, who is pretty much on Diddy's neck in regards to all these cases. That was a Texas-based lawyer that's basically been looking into a lot of these people who've come forward in regards to the Diddy case. He basically alluded to Ray J's claims after sharing that some of Diddy's A-list friends were already scrubbing their social media accounts. Now, the lawyer said that the rapper's celebrity friends have distanced themselves from any questionable posts that may link them to the Diddler alleged crimes. So now it appears that several of Diddy's Hollywood big shot friends would rather part with some cash than being embroiled in a legal battle as a result of what went down in his now infamous freak-offs. So he recently appeared, Ray J, on this TMZ documentary, The Downfall of Diddy Inside the Freak-offs, which you could, if y'all want to see it, it's over on Tubi, which, no shade, but I love Tubi. First of all, Tubi be having the best movies on there. The only thing that irritates me is the commercials, but look, it's free. If it's free, it's for me. So one of the things I love is their deep dive into the horror films. Like they have a really great horror filmography. So if y'all ever want to see some good stuff over there, go watch Tubi. But in regards to this thing, I don't know if I would be interested enough to watch this, especially because I don't particularly care for Harvey. But he went over there on this show, and Ray J, aka William Ray Norwood Jr. Yeah, I'm giving his whole government. He basically disclosed that multiple celebrities have contacted him over fears of their affiliation with the Bad Boy for Life rapper and have resorted to paying the alleged victims in a bid to silence him. And I could have sworn we talked about this on the show, that there have been people who have been paying off some of the victims because they don't want to be seen as co-conspirators. It's not Diddy that's paying them off, it's the ones that was at the freak-offs that may be incriminated in the videos. But my thing is this: if Diddy had video evidence of all the stuff that was going on at those parties, I don't care how much you pay these people off. If the FBI have the evidence and they bring all that forward and it comes out, won't you still be exposed? So that'll be money wasted. But then I guess they're willing to take that chance. So I do have a video, courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk, of Ray J spilling a little bit of tea in regards of these celebrities giving hush money to their victims. Please hold.
About artists paying victims to keep their name out of it.
Do you know people who have had demands put upon them where they have paid off to keep this quiet?
Here's what I do know. People do catch and kills all day. And a catch and kill, I don't know if, of course you know, but for the regular world, somebody has the truth, somebody pays you to keep it quiet, and hopefully that money that you got paid secures your happiness while you watch the lie continue to succeed.
I want to just make sure I understand you. What you're saying is what? That you know people who have been approached by women, men, whatever, who have said, give me money and I won't talk?
Here's the other way around that, Harvey. I'll give you money, please don't talk.
You are a well-connected guy. Do you know that what you've just described, is that going on now?
Yes. They want to talk to me. They want to talk to me about what happened to them. They call me. They feel like they can trust me.
Wait a minute. Calling you for what? Calling you for what?
Because they want to tell me about certain things that happened with them and Diddy.
Ray, I want to make sure I understand this. Are these high-profile people calling you because they've had some affiliation with Diddy that they don't want to come out, and they think you might be the vessel for it coming out? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, so while I do think there were some people that partook, I don't know if I believe this from Ray J necessarily, because Ray J just been running around here trying to get, talk to anybody that'd be willing to listen. Because I'm sitting there like, why of all people they would look at Ray J to be the vessel for them to be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to find ways to distance myself from these freak offs, because we was all doing drugs and we was partying, having a good time. And yeah, because these people are beneath us, we're going to take advantage of them and treat them like however we want to treat them, because we got the money, we got the resources, and we celebrities, and we this, and this. And it's like, person in higher power who will take advantage of someone who doesn't have any power. And now you're trying to find a way to distance yourself. But of all the people, they're going to call Ray J. They're going to call Willie Jr. So since we over at the Neighborhood Talk, Let's read what the people had to say in the comments. So one person said, well, Ray, what happened to Whitney? You are the last to see her. Child. Oh, I forgot about that. Another person said, Ray J is crashing the fuck out. Another person said, Ray J is definitely on those tapes. The dude is talking way too much. And you want to know something? When you start talking way too much, you know what happened to people that run their mouth? They end up disappearing. They end up with cement shoes on at the bottom of the damn ocean. Another person said he's speaking out because his life is at risk. Well, that's my take on it. If he keeps showing his face in the media, maybe the higher ups will be less likely to unalive him. I don't know, y'all. It's all deeper than what we know. I don't think he's crashing out. I think it's a cry for help because Ray J knows a lot. Well, I remember somebody telling me some story that he was getting involved in some cryptocurrency stuff going on in Vegas and messing with some mob people, and how allegedly there was some, people out here were trying to take his life or something because of the things that Ray J was getting involved in to get the type of money that he's been able to get to accumulate to run his businesses. So I don't know necessarily if there might be some truth to it. I think Ray J is getting too involved in a lot of things that he needs to stay his ass out of. Because if he don't, he is going to end up, no longer in the union. Another person said, Brandy, please come get your brother, LOL. Another said, Ray J took I go viral more than you personally. I see. But then someone said this that makes a whole lot of sense. Well, somebody said, is Ray J having a midlife crisis or something? Something ain't right. But the last one I'm going to read is there somebody said this. They said he said all that to TMZ. Meanwhile, he threatening Pastor Jamal Bryant. So yeah, I've been hearing this thing about Ray J and Jamal Bryant and this whole drama that's been going on with that. It's like, yeah, why are you threatening him over an interview? But y'all be quick to run over there to the white people shows to spill all the tea because y'all know that you have a bigger reach going on the white people programs. It's the same thing I said regarding that interview with Piers Morgan. Jaguar Wright went over there and said all she needed to say. And speaking of which, I feel like Ray J trying to be the male Jaguar Wright, running around saying whatever they can to get people to listen. Now, if y'all believe it, that's up to interpretation. Whether he's telling the truth or not, I should say, is worth. It's up to interpretation whether or not you believe him or don't. But yeah, it's just like, but the minute he goes over there, then all of a sudden everybody want to come out and sue. Same thing with Beyonce and them been real quiet when all the black blogs or the people that have been going on the black blogs have been saying things about allegedly their involvement with Diddy and all this other stuff that was going on. I don't know it to be true, but this is what's been floating around in the blogs and on a lot of people's podcasts. But the minute they go on Piers Morgan, you start to hear from their lawyers. So they never care when they look, down at their own people because they think that's bottom of the barrel. The white folks ain't paying attention to that. But when you mess with their livelihood where they make a lot of their money from them white spaces, then all of a sudden, y'all got a battery in your back and want to file lawsuits. So, another person said, addressing Diddy rumors and not your own rumors of you doing similar activities is crazy to me, Ray Ray. Well, if Ray J out here doing scandalous stuff in the vein of Diddy, I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on that and check into that story to see if there's some truth to it. So I have to do a little sleuthing. So they also said in the documentary, what was it? Oh, so they said Ray J seemed nervous, and at some point went quiet, feeling he already said too much. Now in the documentary, they said Anthony Busby, who said he represent over 100 of those alleged victims, also appeared to reveal he has sent a demand letter out to several celebrities with a request asking them to pay up or be sued. Past reports claim authorities seized videos Diddy recorded at some of the freak-offs, which also captured high-profile people on them. And that was the question that I was asking, is that even though if these so-called celebrities are out here, a hit dog will holler at the end of the day. So even with these so-called celebrities allegedly paying these people off, would you still be exempt? Because if you're on the tapes and if you end up being exposed and if charges are filed against you, you done wasted thousands of dollars just to keep people quiet, unless it comes to a situation, I guess, where it comes to a point of testifying against these people and then all of a sudden they go radio silent. Unless they can figure out a way to subpoena these people, then we'll see. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I'm like, with Ray J out here spilling all this tea, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so Felix says, I wouldn't be surprised. Some people would do anything for money. Absolutely. And then that and them saying that Beyonce isn't the witchcraft. If anybody's in the witchcraft was Azealia Banks, how many chickens that heifer done sacrificed? Now her career's still in the damn toilet. So something ain't working. Okay, so now let's get into this DDG story because he said that he don't want to be, he don't want a bunch of baby mamas, that he basically wants to have more children with his ex, Halle Bailey. So he revealed he wants more kids with his ex-girlfriend because, Halle Bailey in a vlog for his YouTube channel. So during a recent Q&A on his YouTube channel, the rapper and content creator shared that he wants another kid. Now, I do have that clip, so y'all can hear it out of his own mouth. And we will come back and, wait, hold on, because I was like, where is it? Okay, I got it. And then we'll come back and talk. Let me take the pause off.
But it was amazing. Do I want to have another kid? Yes. I do want to have another kid. But I will say this. I don't want to have another kid too far away. Like, I don't want Halo to be 10 and his little brother is 1. You feel me? I feel like that defeats the entire purpose of having another kid. Like, me and my brother hella close because we're not that far in age. Me and my little sister is close, but she is way further. You know, she's 6 years younger than me. My brother only 4 years apart. So it's like, it's a little different. You feel me? So I just want, I want to have a kid very, very soon. If I'm having, I wouldn't say very, very soon, but maybe like in the next 2-3 years or so. You know, I feel like 4 years max. If I don't have another kid within the next 4 years, I'm cool with just having Halo. One thing that I do not want to do is have baby mamas or whatever y'all like to call it. That is definitely not nothing. So if I was to have another kid, it definitely would be with the same person. Like, I don't want to have kids with multiple people.
Well, sir, maybe you should have thought of that before you allegedly did what you did. I don't know the reason behind you and Halle breaking up. I know is that a lot of people, out here in these streets pretty much telling Halle that you too good for him, that he's out here sunning you, that he's basically embarrassing you, that when you was pregnant the whole time when you were trying to keep it a secret, even though the breadcrumbs, y'all kept throwing them things out and slipping up horribly. Like, we kind of knew that she was pregnant, but she wasn't addressing it, and then decided to address it, but not really. Once the baby was born and she had the pictures and everything on her Instagram, and then people started to clown her, be like, oh, now you want to sit up in here and show off your kid when you was up in here clowning people for noticing that you were pregnant. But you was gaslighting both of you. You were gaslighting us and going back and forth and trying to make us look like we dumb because we was catching y'all out here with the buffoonery. So you getting mad at us. And now he's sitting up here talking about that he don't want a bunch of baby mamas. Well, sir, it looked like that's about to happen. Because if Halle decides to get back with you, that's on her. And then, of course, everybody going to be like, we're going to have our Tyra Banks moment. We were rooting for you. We was rooting for you. How dare you get back with him? After the BS that he was putting you through, most recently, how she basically blasted him for taking their child on Casanat's show. And people get mad over it, over her complaining about it. Which I'm like, sis, you should have just hit him up on the phone. You could have texted him. You ain't had to go on social media and be like, well, I didn't agree to this. Or maybe she was doing that to save face because people would probably be on social media saying something in the comments and she didn't want to look like she was the bad guy. So she wanted to throw it all up on him. I don't know what the situation was. And then she blamed it on postpartum depression, which I'm not going to judge you on that because women do suffer from postpartum depression. And I don't know how it feels to have a baby and deal with depression and stuff. Because I ain't got a pussy and I ain't trying to push my baby out of one. So, because I got a pain. But in regards to this whole situation, sir, it looked like you about to be a baby father, having multiple baby mamas, because you messed up the thing when you was with Halle. Whatever the reason was, and she decided to leave you, for whatever reason, like I said, it looked like you're not going to be able to get the thing that you want to get. in regards of, you know, having a bunch of children with one person. So the way you lived your life and the way you was raised, it don't seem like it's going to work in this situation. Not everybody is going to be able to do the thing like they had when it came to, you know, how they were raised or whatever the case was. So since we was on the neighborhood talk, let's look in the question. I mean, in the comments of what the people were saying. So one person said Halle definitely left him. LMAO. Another person said yet again, marriage is too much for a baby / multiple babies isn't. Another person said, hey, this N-word manipulative. N-word, just go marry her. Well, she got to want him to marry her, I should say. Another person said, another person said, wanting other kids without the discussion of marriage to me is crazy. Well, here's the thing. Not everybody wants to run around and get married. I don't understand why people still in this whole traditional mindset of, oh, yeah, you need to put a ring on a person's finger in order to hold them down. Not everybody wants to run down the aisle and get married. That's a discussion that they need to have between the both of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm here for if you want to do marriage or whatever the case is, but that needs to be a decision on them. And don't just sit out here automatically think that just because you done knock somebody up, it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to put a ring on it. Another person says, so he wants to use her as a BM and not wife her? Typical. Another person said, Halle, run. Another person said, men will make you a mother before a wife. That's crazy. Another person said, he trapped Halle, LMAO, IDC. This kind of mindset confirms it. Well, here's the thing. You can't say that he trapped her. She a grown-ass woman. She was an equal participant. Says could have if he was up in there running up in her coochie raw dog, she could use the birth control to prevent pregnancy. There's ways that you go about preventing pregnancy, unless it was a wanted thing and that was something they were going to do. Maybe they were discussing marriage and it wasn't something that was brought up to the public. Just because we don't know about it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist or the conversation wasn't had. It's just the fact that maybe they were just taking their time with the baby and everything. And then now that the baby's here, which I was saying that y'all both a little too young to be parents. Halle's career was starting to take off. You know, she had the Chloe and Halle thing. In regards to the solo music, that wasn't really cutting it. And then she was doing her little acting. She was in The Color Purple and she was in The Little Mermaid. I don't know where her career could have progressed from there into doing other things. But now that she has this responsibility with a kid, it's sort of like her career in so many ways have taken a back seat. There would have been plenty of time for y'all to have children. Y'all still in y'all early 20s. So I pretty much think I said all I need to say on this whole situation. Like, I just don't feel like they had a chance of like y'all getting back together. You gonna be like, if you want to talk about you want to have multitude of children. I'm not saying you're gonna be like Nick Cannon and have like a dozen with like half a dozen women, but it don't look like that you're gonna have a multitude, 2 or 3 kids with the same girl. Because I don't see Halle taking you back. So I'm curious to hear what y'all have to say about this story. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of which, I see we got a lot of comments. Sailor Memory says, but he didn't even propose to her, so he made her a baby mama. BABYMA. This goes out to all my baby mamas. This goes out to all my baby mamas. Remember that song from Fantasia? Shit, that was my joint. Okay. So Sailor says, I'm not falling for this BS, and Halle better not go back to him. Okay. Especially when, that's how we was feeling about Keke Palmer when she was with Darius. I said, bitch, you better not get back with him. But I'm glad that they're at a place where they're cordial and they can make their relationship work for the sake of Leo. I need the same for Halle and DDG, where y'all, even if y'all don't get back together and he's got this wishful thinking. Well, here's the thing. Even if she does entertain the idea of getting back together with him and trusting him to want to get back together, whatever the reason why they broke up, that's neither here nor there. But if he actually takes the time to put in the work to prove to her that he's willing to do the work to get back in her good graces, then I could welcome getting back together. But he always gave me opportunistic tease. I never trusted him as far as I could throw him in regards of getting with her. So I'm not buying this BS that he was putting in that video. especially in the last one that he did when he was out here defending her. The relationship and pregnancy did sting their careers a bit. Absolutely. DDG has never had a taste. Okay, because that's why I was saying I don't know nothing about DDG. I do feel like that she is obviously the more famous one. Like we know Halle Bailey. I know the damn thing about DDG. That I just knew that okay, he does like YouTube and podcasting and all this stuff. He's more famous for that than he is his music. And there's nothing worse than being more famous for your antics than your music. Cardi B's becoming that. She's becoming more famous for her antics than her music. I was watching one video. Somebody said she need to hire her ghostwriter back, Partisan. I do agree, because girl, them songs you was writing where it said Bel Callis on it, it wasn't working. So, no shade. Oh, and another thing, I don't understand the barbers that was out here making fun of Megan Thee Stallion for not getting any Grammy nominations. And here's the thing, at least she has Grammys on her mantle, while your girl doesn't. And at least she may not have Grammy nominations this year, but neither does Nicki. So I don't understand how y'all out here mad at somebody for not having Grammys or getting Grammy nominations when your girl don't have it either. Like, are y'all slow? Make it make sense. Someone said The Little Mermaid flops. Oh, yeah, please. Don't even remind me. I did not like that movie at all. I thought it was trash. I did not like the background and all the other stuff. The effects, all of that just took me out of the movie. I stuck through it, but overall, the movie was a disappointment. So, and it's funny. It's like you said, it was a wake-up call to studios and effects that race-changing iconic characters can have. And I don't think it was a bad thing about it. Wasn't even the fact that they changed her race or whatever. There was issues that I have with the movie. It's like, okay, so how's Harvey Bardem her father? And it's literally when you look at all these kids, it was like one big Benetton ad, and I felt like that's what y'all were trying to do. Y'all Disney, it felt like y'all were trying to fit some kind of quota instead of being revolutionary in the type of storytelling you were going to tell with this Little Mermaid story. So that's why I didn't particularly care for it. Also, like you were saying, like the whole special effects and everything, it bothered me. There's too many songs. Like I'm not really much. And I said this, I love Broadway. Like I can go and watch Broadway play with a lot of singing because I know what I'm getting with that. But to have to sit through a movie musical, I can't. That's why I was like, there's an opportunity. I could have went to go see a screening of Wicked. I can't. Like I can't sit through that. Not in no theater. I'm like, I'm going to want to drive. You're going to drive me to drink. And they sell alcohol in the movie theaters now. So I'm like, First of all, nobody's that damn gay that wants to go see that freaking movie. So I'm not going to go see it. I will go see Gladiator 2 before I go see some damn Wicked. Which, sidebar, I am going to go see Gladiator 2. And we're going to talk about it later on in the show with Denzel talking about a gay kiss that was removed from the movie. So, yeah, I didn't like The Little Mermaid. And I saw it when it came on Disney Plus. Sidebar, I just realized Deadpool and Wolverine is on Disney Plus. I got to watch that movie again. I also want to buy it too, but I want to watch it on Disney Plus. I think it came out yesterday. It said marriage has financial and legal benefits. That's why some men are hesitant to marry their spouse, for they are either A, afraid to be tied down, and B, don't see their spouse as worthy to marry. I think it's more or less, hey, I think it's because they don't want to be tied down. A lot of these men out in these streets want to have their cake and eat it. So I think that's why a lot of times they don't want to get married. Boss Up said it wasn't vaginal sex, and they're both shocked. It provides protection for not usually for women, but better protection for the children. Don't they have like are they trying to push, speaking of which, the new administration is about to come in, are they trying to push for a no fault clause in like divorces or whatever? So like if women who are in abusive relationships are trying to leave, that basically men are protected. But that's who y'all voted for. So I don't want to hear nothing, because I've been hearing a lot of stuff about how people are starting to finally wake up and realize that they've been lied to. There was one video that I saw of a immigrant, Mexican dude or whatever, saw that because he voted for Trump, he's MAGA. Neighbors across the street are also MAGA. Was like, oh, we MAGA. We MAGA. We good. We cool with each other. We like each other. So I want to send my kids across the street to play with your kids. The racist wasn't having it. So he sent them back over there, was like, oh no, y'all need to go back to Mexico, even popped off some shots in the air. So that way, because he didn't want to deal with it. Then it was another, so I was like, so they shocked. I was like, oh no, that's what you voted for. So y'all gonna have to suffer the consequences. And sometimes y'all gotta learn the hard way in regards to all of this. So you mad because you thinking, oh yeah, if I'm one of y'all, then I'm not gonna be affected. And I truly believe that this is the reason why a lot of people voted for him. The ones who don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, with the mass deportation and stuff. Oh, I'm a good Mexican. He's not gonna deport me. You think they give a fuck what you look like? You all look the same to these racists. So y'all all going. They don't care if you a good, person or a bad person. You're a Mexican. You got to leave. That's their mentality. That's what a racist looks at. Then it was another one, this dumb bitch who was dating a white man. The guy called the cops on his girlfriend because apparently she took this check or whatever, or the lady took his check, said that he wanted his check from her. And then he called the cops. Basically, he called ICE and, saying that he called the cops and told them that basically her brother was an illegal, thinking that they was going to get rid of him. So that's what they jumped to. All those talking points that they be hearing on the Fox News and all these other places, when y'all pissed them off, they jumped right to that mess. And she got mad. Bitch, that's who you fucking though. So when he's pissed off, now he throwing the racist stuff in your face. But a lot of y'all like to gravitate to certain people because y'all think it provides you protection. So we talking about protection, but that ain't the type of protection that you looking for. They looking at this other type of protection. It's like, no, your ass might get deported too. So thoughts and prayers when it comes to a lot of you out here who go and voting against your own interests because you thinking that you are going to be protected. They don't care about you. All they care about is selling you whatever the BS that they could sell you up the river in order to win. That's what it's about. It's about winning. I mean, anything with politics, duh, you do anything to win. You'll tell people anything to win. Democrats are always trying to be all demure and mindful. Fuck that. Those days is done. Those days are over. It ain't time to be demure and mindful. You got to get dirty in the mud. You got to start slinging shit. That's what I say. Scoop the shit out of Trump's ass and start flinging it. Because that's the only way you're going to you got to play dirty. But we all know that marriage is all about financial security. It's not really about, oh, I love this person. I mean, back in the day, it was about that. It was always about financial security. Now it's just about, okay, there's some people I do believe that genuinely love the person that they're with. But I do think a lot of times it's always been about financial security. And vice versa for women. Having Aquafina singing. Child, putting Aquafina in anything is always a mess. Aquafina is like the Asian Tiffany Haddish. I need her to disappear. I'm curious to see the new horror version of the. Oh yeah, I think I saw something regarding of that. And the funny thing was, if you look at mermaids or whatever, if you read like the original book, if you look at like the history of like mermaids and sirens and things, the Little Mermaid was a horror book. It wasn't like all this Disney-fied thing that we're getting with Ariel and Under the Sea and a talking crab and all that mess. Like, it was like Hans Christian Andersen. If you really look at a lot of his material, and it's funny when, like, as a kid reading these books, you didn't even realize the undertones of a lot of this stuff. And you realize this is a horror movie, but it's like a horror book. This is not the Disney thing that they always do that with Disney stuff. I disagree. It wasn't Halle that was the issue. She was the best thing for the Little Mermaid. The direction, casting, and decision making is what made it terrible. I didn't say she was a bad part of it. I said she was a good part of it. I said that the movie I just didn't like. She's talented. She can sing. She was a good performer. But I just felt like the way that the behind the scenes in regard to the writing and it felt like I don't want to. Oh gosh. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I'm not in a way where it's like I'm worrying about hurting people's feelings, but I'm just trying to find the words to say it. I just feel like when it came down to Little Mermaid, it did feel a little. We're trying to fill a quota where y'all trying to do. Oh well, everybody's complaining about the lack of Black people and things and the lack of diversity and all sorts of stuff, and so we need to fill this quota so we could shut those people the fuck up and we could look progressive. That's what it felt like. Versus, okay. We're making this movie. Now, who was the most qualified actor that came in and wowed us in the audition? And we're like, okay, let's just write this story around them. We'll tweak a couple of things up in there, but this person is perfect for the part. And Halle was good for it, but it was just the movie was trash. And I just think the way that they went about it, it just felt very much like it just felt a little it just felt a little performative to me in regards of like the studio and all that other stuff that was going on with it. So that's why I didn't care for it. Driver C said, do you remember those big album size movie discs from the 90s? You talking about a laser disc? I remember those. I never had a laser disc. My grandfather used to collect laser discs, but we always had like regular CD sizes and like DVDs. But as far as like laser discs, no, I never had that. The closest that you would see in my house growing up that would be sort of like a laser disc would be vinyl. And my parents had a record player. My mother and father bought a lot of vinyl growing up, so that's the only thing. But I've never had like laser discs. Also, yeah, Felix said that his friend had the Blonde Ambition tour on Laserdisc. And happy 40th anniversary to what was it? Like a Virgin? That album? But anyway, so it said I saw a video of an immigrant hiding in the side of a truck, not the bed. Oh damn. Between the door and the front. People out here crazy. Y'all willing to risk your life. Y'all are crazy. Did you see the Harris 2024 prank where the guy signed on MAGA woman's lawn? No, I did not see that. I said, oh no, I was responding to, oh, okay. He said I was responding to the other user. I said, I'm sure Halle was the best choice for Ariel during the audition process. What's sad is the way people reacted and how they were upset over yeah, that's what it was. A lot of the incels online where it's like y'all trying to act like that other celebrity, like we don't have a right to just, I mean, it's a damn mermaid. It's not like mermaids are actually real, but then people getting mad over a black girl playing a mermaid. I'm like, that's what you're mad about? But the fact that mermaids aren't real? So we do want to see diversity and stuff in films, but it has to feel organic. It needs to feel authentic. It can't feel forced. And I think that's the issue that we have with a lot of movies and TV shows where it just feels like y'all just trying to check a box rather than, okay, is this character right for the role? I heard speaking of which, I heard that damn, what's his name? Nicholas Chavez, I think is his name. From the Menendez movie. He's about to be I think he got a role in I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot. What's going on with Jennifer Love Hewitt with that part? I need to do further research on that. And so Driver C says, when you get a chance, watch Harris 2024 prank on MAGA Woman. MAGA Woman. Okay. So let's get into the Zendaya story. Because apparently, I believe one of the creator of Euphoria is pretty much blaming her for the delay. And she said, I don't know why he out here saying this mess because I am not to blame for the delay of Euphoria, which I've been hearing that they're supposed to start shooting in January. So Zendaya is clapping back at the creator of Euphoria for reportedly blaming her for postponing season 3 of the HBO show. She said, I will say I have been off for a couple of years, so not delayed because of my schedule. I've been open, just waiting, the actress told Vanity Fair with a laugh in an interview published on Wednesday, which would be today, by the way. So Zendaya, who is 28, pointed out that while she has 2 major movies premiere this year, Dune Part 2 and Challengers, she filmed both in 2022. And yeah, so she filmed that in 2022. We're in 2024. I don't understand what's taking Euphoria so long. Is it really that difficult to write an 8-episode? How many episodes does Euphoria have? Between 8, I'll say ballpark 8 to 10 episodes. It's been so long since I've seen Euphoria. I don't remember the damn show, quite frankly. I remember little things here and there, but as far as like the show altogether, I don't remember a lot about it because it's been so long between seasons. So if you do like 8 to 10 episodes, I don't think it takes you that long to write a damn script. So I don't understand why you basically blaming her. Now, Dune Part 2 and Challengers came out. When did Dune Part? I think both came out today, right? She filmed. I mean, not today. It came out this year. So she filmed both in 2022, but I believe they both came out in 2024. So there's plenty of time for her to grow off and film the. And look, she's about to film 2 more movies, so you need to hurry the hell on up and get that camera rolling because she's about to film Spider-Man 4. And I believe she's also supposed to film I mean, I don't know how much of a part she has in Spider-Man 4, but I do know Tom Holland said they're shooting that over the summer, and then she's supposed to start shooting Doom 3. So, I don't know when they're going to start shooting that. They might shoot that later this year, but she's also supposed to shoot, so there's about to be 3 movies. And 2 of them is going to be with Tom Holland. So she's doing the Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man 4, and she's doing this Christopher Nolan movie because they said she just signed on for that. So she's about to be in this Christopher Nolan movie with, I believe, Matt Damon and Tom Holland. And it's rumored to be a vampire movie. I don't know if there's truth to that, but it's a rumored to be a vampire movie. And I'm like, Christopher Nolan doing a vampire movie? Well, I can't see it. I'm curious. I can't see him doing something in that genre. I am curious to see what he would bring to the horror movie genre. So the Emmy winner confirmed that Euphoria is still on track to resume filming in January, though she does not have any additional details. She says, I haven't read anything yet, but I'm excited to see what everyone has been working on and what the future looks like for Euphoria. This is what she told the magazine, assuring fans that she will do justice by the people who love and care about her character, Rue Bennett. Now, Zendaya's comments come less than 4 months after a bombshell report about the future of Euphoria claimed the star had been dragging her feet with an eye toward a burgeoning film career. A source close to Euphoria's creator, Sam Levinson, told the Hollywood Reporter in January that it was all Zendaya. Everybody wanted to make it about Sam, but it was her. So they're sitting here blaming her. But I'm sitting there like, well, is she the only one? Because she ain't the only one that's busy. I mean, Jacob Elordi's been pretty busy. Sydney Sweeney's been pretty busy. We lost Fez. You know, for the OD, last movie he did was Abigail. So I'm actually, while I'm at a point where I pretty much moved on mentally from Euphoria. Once it's done and it does air on, come and gets its premiere on HBO, I'll be here for it. But my thing is this: why is HBO, and I guess maybe because they're not like your traditional studio or whatever, why are they allowing this to take so long between seasons? Like, how long has it been? I feel like Euphoria's been on TV for like 3 years already. That's a little too long for a damn show. And I get it, we had the writer's strike and all this other stuff that was going on, COVID. I don't know if COVID had anything to do with it, if I could think that far back. But we know we had the writer's strike and there was a bunch of stuff going on with that. But at this point, you should have had a bunch of damn scripts written and have everything locked in. Now, if January comes and there is no Euphoria shooting, then just cancel the damn show. Because I don't even know, no shade, if anybody really misses the show. Like, I would love to see the gang all back. I would love to see Zendaya, Hunter Schafer, possibly Dane, what's his damn name? Eric Dane. I'm gonna say Dane Cook. I don't want to see his old ass, but we want to see Eric Dane come back possibly, and a lot of the characters that was a part of Euphoria and what else they plan on bringing with this franchise. So, and then I said like this is the Vanity Fair Hollywood issue that she's on the cover of alongside Glenn Powell, who should have been the sexiest man alive, Zoe Saldana, and fine ass Dev Patel. Yes, I do think Dev Patel is good looking. Hopefully he's in there as well, in regards like inside the book, in the pages. And I liked him in Monkey Man, although I did want Monkey Man to be a little bit better. It could have been stronger in regards of like the scripts and everything. But I understand like all the things that they had going against them making that movie. I liked it for what he was able to bring with it. But if we're talking about Indian John Wicks, the movie Kill was a better film. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if y'all get a chance, definitely check Kill out. But also check out Monkey Man. And we got Nicole Kidman's on the cover too. Because Nicole Kidman is also in, she's in the center. Zendaya looks good in that pantsuit, by the way. And I love the fact that because she has these small boobs that she could just go into these like braless outfits. So she's definitely got like a model's body. So her having that, the perky boobs and all this stuff, it definitely works for the clothes that she wears, which is why she is that girl when it comes to the fashions, thanks to Laura Roach being like the architect who helps pick out, they collaborate on what she's going to wear. And I like the fact that we have Zoe making a resurgence with her career. And if y'all haven't seen it, you need to check her and Nicole Kidman out in the series Lioness that's on Well, I have Paramount Plus, so that's how I watch it. But yeah, so definitely check that show out. And I definitely going to check out that Vanity Fair article. So I ask all of you this: what do y'all think of this story? Do you think that I mean, in regards to like the whole Euphoria thing, and then there's a whole blame game going around with against Zendaya? I guess it's easier to blame her because she is the bigger name out of everybody that is a part of the show. Yeah, everybody who's famous now, right? Sydney Sweeney's got her little career going, and you have Jacob Elordi is famous in his own right, but the biggest star that's come out of Euphoria is Zendaya. So she is definitely a movie star. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Said driver, see, I saw that she had a full-on meltdown. Oh, the MAGA woman had a meltdown? Yeah, I gotta check that out. It says Zendaya is also supposed to star in a Ronnie Spector biopic, but that's been in limbo since 2020. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But one of the things, even though I'm not a fan of Bob Dylan, I am looking forward to seeing that um, Timothy Chalamet in that movie. And I know like I was kind of going back and forth, but I don't know if y'all would be interested enough in me talking about it or be excited to talk about it. But I did want to talk about I did think about bringing up the Timothy Chalamet art, interview that he did with Zane Lowe, where he was talking about how in the early stages of his career, he had people behind the scenes telling him if he wants to have that movie star career, that he needs to put on weight. And then he started talking about like um how maybe his career would have taken a different approach if he had gone for parts in like the Maze Runner and things of that nature, but he started going for like more of these off kilter parts, which I actually like that he took the off the beaten path. He went off the beaten path before he started doing like the big movie parts like Wonka and the Dune franchise, which I'm actually now looking forward to Dune 3 when that comes out. Well, once they start filming it. So I thought about that. And it said, and Alexa Demi is just roaming the street. Not Alexa Demi. Oh yeah, because she kind of had that. Her career is pretty much done, and they said they should do a special episode like they did between 1 and 2 and make it their finale. Well, the word on the street is I am hearing that this season, the third season, is going to be the final season of Euphoria, and if that happens, I wouldn't be mad. I'm just like, just wrap this show up. At this point, y'all take way too long between seasons. It's not like it's not like when you watch Euphoria, it's like watching the Batman or something of a large scope, like you're doing like a Doom series, like the Benny Gesserit, or like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Like if you're doing something of that magnitude, where you need a lot of time to shoot the type of content that is required, you're basically doing a show about a bunch of people doing drugs and fucking in LA. So how long does it take to shoot that? It's not like you need a $200 million budget and a year to film that. So a lot of shows are taking a long time. I know, and it's irritating me because I'm like, growing up, did it ever take that long to start filming stuff? But it seems like y'all taking y'all sweet time when it comes to filming shows, and I'm like, why is it taking so long? And I realize that y'all really need to speed it up because we have streaming services competing with network television and stuff, and they need the original content and stuff on their streaming services. Ain't no time to sit and drag y'all feet. So you said, yeah, and that's why I said another thing. Why is Stranger Things taking so damn long? Like, I feel like y'all took 2 years to shoot that damn show. So it said mainly streaming series like Stranger Things, but Euphoria isn't a made for streaming series, so need to cut the BS. Yeah, I mean, well, technically, streaming Max is a streaming service, but yeah, I get what you mean because you could also watch it on HBO. If you have HBO, I don't have HBO, I have Max. I have nothing but streaming services. And speaking of which, that's why I was excited to hear today when they were talking about that show Beyond the Gates is going to premiere in February, and they already started filming it's a new black soap opera that we haven't had since Generations. Remember Generations back in the day with Vanessa Bell Calloway and Vivica Fox? And they had every black person you could think of back in the day on that story. The series didn't last long, but Beyond the Gates is a new series that is going to premiere on CBS. I was excited to hear that's going to be on Paramount Plus too, because I was like, I don't have CBS. And even though somebody who don't really watch stories, I am curious to see what it's like, and I definitely will check it out when it airs. So, but I do agree that y'all shouldn't be taking this damn long with the show. As an old head, I would definitely love to hear your commentary on Bob Dylan. Well, yeah, I was thinking that maybe I should have I could pull up that topic next time. in regards to the whole Bob Dylan thing and Timothy Chalamet playing him. I haven't gotten around to watching the interview that he did with Zane Lowe yet because I've just been bombarded with so much stuff. And then on top of that, when I do have free time, I realize that I've been going into these deep dives on what's going on with the Trump administration and who he's appointing and all the other crazy shenanigans behind the scenes, that it's kind of like I've been neglecting a lot of the other things. I need to be focusing more on, okay, what's going on in celebrity news and gossip, and stop like going into these OCD deep dives regarding politics. But then if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to bring y'all the information on the show. Oh, excuse me. I had iced tea earlier, so now I'm feeling a little gassy. Okay, so what's the next story? Okay, so let's get into, oh wait, hold on. Let's get into some gay news. But before we get into the gay news, we have 2 topics left. So before we get to those topics, if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Please and thank you. Okay, let's talk about Denzel, who revealed, if y'all plan on seeing Gladiator 2 this weekend, and I am planning on going to see it, he said there was a gay kiss that was put in the film, but Ridley Scott cut it. You need to cut it. So Denzel has revealed, this shout out to Pink News for this. So they said Denzel Washington has revealed that he embraced ancient Rome's inclusive attitude towards homosexuality for Gladiator 2, because I always gotta say it like that, with a gay kiss, but it got cut from the final edit. For all its gruff masculinity and brutal classically heterosexual violence, Gladiator 2 is crammed full of homoeroticism. The first inkling that Ridley Scott's blockbuster sequel would be a little fruity came with the casting announcement in early 2023. Oh, y'all shady for that. Because they said Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal, who were 2 of gay Twitter's biggest crushes, were to sweat it out in skimpy loincloths. We wonder how many people put a note in their diary right then as a reminder to book tickets. Now, Mescal plays Lucius Verus, a captive gladiator, and son of the original films Maximus and Lucilla. Or is it Lucilla? I think it was pronounced Lucilla, if I can remember that far. But I haven't seen Gladiator in a month of Sundays. Maybe I need to revisit that movie before I go see the new one. Opposite Pascal's Marcus Acacius, a Roman general who's partly responsible for that enslavement. As such, they come face to face with each other's swords on more than one occasion. So if the fact that their scantily clad tussling wasn't enough, the pair even enjoyed a little kiss, but that moment ended up on the cutting room floor. However, it turns out that the film could have been even gayer because the smooch wasn't the only homoerotic moment not to make it to our screens. According to Fences Star Washington, who plays one of the film's cruelest tyrants, there was a moment where he had to go in for a kiss. He said, I actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it out. I think they got chicken. This is what he told Gaiety recently. I kissed the guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet. I killed them about 5 minutes later, but it's Gladiator, the kiss of death. Well, it kind of makes me wonder because it's like, y'all always, and that's, I think, like a stereotype or a thing that people have when it comes to gays in films, that here y'all go, we get an opportunity for representation, and then y'all want to go kill us at the same time. So was it like a kiss, or was it like just like a kiss, like it was a sexual thing, or was it a kiss like what he's implied, which is a kiss of death? And what people need to realize, if you look at ancient Roman history, a lot of that was that when men got together, it wasn't like this thing of how people perceive homosexuality now. It was sort of like a rite of passage if you was in the comfort of a man, if you had sexual relations with a man. It was just like a thing that was done. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like, oh my God, you're going to hell. It's all this Catholicism bullshit, because before there was Catholicism and it reared its ugly head with a lot of their rules and restrictions, when you dealt with things going on in Roman history, these were the things that you saw. Like, especially if you watch shows like Spartacus, it was all through that damn show. And then there's many YouTube videos where they talk about how, like, a lot of the men in the military, like a lot of the soldiers, were fornicating. And let's not also forget about Alexander the Great, which there was alluding to, and you could see this in, like, I think Netflix did a thing on it and so many other things. They've shown Alexander had sexual relationships with men, but they would have put that in the Colin Farrell movie that was done back in the day with Oliver Stone. I think he directed it, and Angelina Jolie, which was a weird casting, played his mother. So there was a lot of that, and then they wouldn't show that then. But who knows? Maybe the reason why they didn't show it is because it's typical Hollywood. Hollywood is scared because they're trying to get this movie to be shown in China and all these other places. And then if you show this type of stuff, then it's like, oh, it's a problem in other countries. But it's like, so y'all trying to deny history? And to me, if I'm writing a script and I want to incorporate this stuff in there, not because it's just, oh, I need to fill a quota and put a gay person in it, but this is just a natural thing that happened historically. And I hate the fact that I'm noticing that I feel like history continues to be erased, and this is why a lot of people lack actual education on certain things, and history is continuously being erased. This is why I look forward to, like, when I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff. This is how I be learning about a lot of things. I mean, when I was a kid, I told you I used to read the encyclopedia up, down, and all around. Like, I used to study it. But now it's like at a place where you don't want to read hardcover books no more. Now it's all about, like, okay, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of deep dives, a lot of documentaries. So they also said that the character that I think his name is Macronus is what is it? Oh, that Denzel Washington's character's name. It said he hints that he is happy to sample all of ancient Rome's finest delicacies, male and female, and director Scott recently told the New York Times that there was at least a twinkle of the character's bisexuality on show in the film. Now, in addition to the bisexuality, Pascal and Mescal's bare biceps, Emperors Geta and Caracalla. There's a lot of crazy tongue-tying names up in this movie. And it said more camp soap opera villains than ruthless leaders, while Matt Lucas's appearance as the Colosseum's androgynous master of ceremonies inches the dial up another notch. So while ancient Rome's tolerance of the gays and theys isn't exactly explored in Gladiator 2, it's a start. In addition, Gladiator 3 is already in the works. Oh, I didn't know they were making another Gladiator 3. I mean, they were making a Gladiator 3. Well, hopefully they'll make it before Ridley Scott, leaves the earth, because he ain't getting any younger. And here's the thing. I'm actually surprised that Denzel Washington kissed another man in the video. And actually, because wasn't there a story that came out years ago where they were trying to say that, well, it's probably propaganda, because if he was okay with what the character implied, or maybe he's at 70 years old, more open-minded and understands for the role he's being more open-minded about, or this could be an old wives' tale that's just made up. They said something or another that Denzel Washington advised Will Smith not to do that kiss in 6 Degrees of Separation. So maybe that was all a bunch of BS that people run around with that narrative, but Denzel had no problem kissing a man in this role, because that's what the character, that's what was required of the character. And I kind of wish that Hollywood wouldn't, or Ridley wouldn't have shied away from it, because it's a part of history. That was what they did. If you start to make a big deal about homosexuality, that's when people get all piped up. Now, if you get the incel that's going to watch the movie and they get mad, oh well, be mad, go argue with your mammy. But that's a part of history. I want to put that in there. So who knows? Maybe there will be an uncut version or an extended version, an unrated version, even though it's R-rated, but unrated, you could put all kinds of stuff up in there. You could put blood, gore, even probably get more explicit with the sex. And maybe they'll add those kisses and things up in there, give it a little more, gayisms up in the movie that was cut from the film. So that way, you can have the vision you want, but the reason why all that was edited out was to appease the people at the studios and getting it out outside of the United States. It's like China and all these other places that would have a problem with gay stuff being in a damn movie. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now we got our final topic, chair, and let's get into this. Gay adult film stars who are clapping back at the pro-Trump peers. So yesterday, we spilled a little tea, in regards of, a Rod Win-Win, Alex Grant, Ricky Larkin, and even Devin Franco, just to name a few, recently came out as Trump supporters. And then anybody that comes out and goes against what they want to say, they either get, oh, you're a hater, or they block you, the typical. Because I feel like what I don't understand is that I've noticed a lot of you Trump supporters, you won. Your guy is going to be in office come January 20th. Why y'all running down here still mad? Like, it don't make no sense. Y'all still mad. You're still upset that people aren't here for the fact that this person who says a lot of ignorant, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic stuff is going to be running, have the keys and all the power of the United States of America in the palm of his hands. But y'all running around upset. Y'all should be jumping through hoops. You should be doing backflips. You should be running down the street with, fireworks shooting out your ass, celebrating. But you're still walking around mad. There was one girl I saw having a bunch of, this little white girl with her crocodile tears on social media talking about how she went down to the polls in her grandmother's sweater to vote for Trump. Like, her grandmother and the mother fought, for rights of reproductive rights for women and all this other stuff. Them being women, them understanding the assignment. This donkey goes and votes against the self-interest that her mother, grandmother, and those beyond fought to be able to have. You vote against it. Because I don't understand what struggle and what, any kind of issues, what that's gonna feel like. But y'all gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it, feel it, feel it. In the words of Wendy Williams and that old theme song, in a couple of years, I give you 2. That's when you're gonna feel it in 2026. And then, things don't happen overnight, but y'all gonna definitely feel it maybe 2 years into his campaign or into his presidency. So she was up in there crying, talking about, oh, now because she voted, and she was like, oh, well, they would have been feeling the same way if the shoe was on the other foot. So she said her mother and them, they just owned her. They got nothing to do with her. And I said, thoughts and prayers. It's like, look, when y'all go and vote for things, and there's repercussions, there's always repercussions to your actions. This is why I always say The Matrix is one of my favorite movies, because I do believe in cause and effect. I do believe that every action has a reaction, and whatever decision you make in life, there is a ripple effect. When you throw that pebble across the water, there's a ripple effect that you see that happens when you throw that pebble across the water. So I truly believe in philosophy and all those things. So when you make a decision, this is the outcome of that decision. So now you have to live with that decision. And since you decide to vote for Trump, stand on that. Nobody's judging you on who you voted for. If you vote for whoever you vote for, stand on your business. Stand on business. As they say, I hate that phrase, but stand on your business. But if people don't want to have nothing to do with you, you can't be mad at them for that. Just like you don't want them to be mad at who you voted on, you cannot be mad at these other people for being pissed off at you for voting against reproductive rights, gay rights, housing, taxes or whatever. Because y'all thinking that Republicans cut taxes? If anything, they good at is now they in office, they good at addition. Before they was on addition and subtraction. They want to take away things that the Democrats put in place, and now they want to raise things as in the taxes that we're going to have to pay for. And don't even get me started on them damn tariffs. Because if y'all ain't know what a tariff was, you're going to learn today. And we're going to be paying all that out of our damn pocket. So regarding all of that, because this is something that happened with Devin Franco, one of the adult film stars that I'm going to bring up. Because he said that when he went to go talk to Devin in regards, because they did a couple of scenes or whatever the case was, that Devin blocked him. So it's like, so you can ditch it, but you can't take it. So that's basically why I was saying all the stuff that I was saying. So shout out to Out, because they did this article. I like to cite my sources. So, with them coming out and stuff, now I have to give y'all the flip side. So there were some adult performers who spoke out against the Arads, the Alex Grants, the Ricky Larkins, and the Devin Francos, and all these other people that are supporting Trump. Basically, they're out advocating for the LGBTQ plus community and reacting to the industry peers who support conservative politicians. So, one of the adult performers that spoke out. Well, it was three of them. It was Alex Rockham, Bo Butler, and Ruggery Valdivia. These are the three that have been speaking out against what's been happening in regards to this situation. So I actually have two videos that I want to play off from TikTok, courtesy of Alex Rockham, who has been speaking up against Trump's MAGA movement and how basically it could affect the LGBTQ plus community and other minority groups. And he's been doing this for many years. It's just that now a lot of people have been getting wind of what he's been saying. So, you know, while we are getting ready to deal with a second Trump term in the White House, you know, Rockham's voice is now being even more amped up and feels that he needs to speak out more than ever. So I do have the clip of him speaking out. Please hold, you know, these boys always got to walk around with no clothes on. Not that I'm judging, because, you know, I love a shirtless man. But if you got some smarts on top of it, or you definitely can sit on my face, but please hold.
So a lot of you guys don't know me that well personally and have asked me why it is I know so much about politics, why it is I'm so invested, why do I have the opinions that I do? And I just got done reading a message from a blogger marauder who said, I'm just a stupid fucking whore, I should just go back to sucking dick. Okay, fine, I'm not going to argue with that. We'll go with that. But before I was doing all that, let's go back in time to 2015, when Donald Trump was running for president the first time. And I was open to his message. I was very ignorant then. The reason why was because he promised healthcare. And I had just got done dealing with a bout of appendicitis, which if you don't know, when your appendix bursts, you have to have a surgery. You either get the surgery or you die. I did not have insurance at the time. And I went to the hospital. Long story short, they woke me up from anesthesia, told me I had to Uber to go home. They wanted $25,000. I had to negotiate with them. It like slightly ruined my life for a little bit. So that's why at first I was open to what he had to say. But I am proud of myself because I can say that 10 years ago, I sat down and I listened to him, ignorant as I was at the time. And it didn't take me long for me to figure out that this man is a charlatan who has no real plans, who doesn't know anything, because he wasn't able to articulate any of these policy proposals. How are you going to build a wall? Oh, just go 10 feet taller. Like, what? And then he would say things like, oh, you know, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists or murderers. Only some, I'm sure, are good people. I was horrified by him, horrified. When he instated the Muslim ban and people were stuck at the airports, I was inspired by the lawyers who ran there to try to help these people. And I decided to go back to school, Georgia State University, to study political science with a concentration on the history of the United States, because there was a moment in time where I thought I wanted to be a civil rights lawyer. But okay, maybe it is true that I am just a stupid fucking whore after all, because as passionate as I am about this subject and as invested and as much as I know, I'm not very academic. So the idea of going to law school and going to college for that much more longer just was really out of the question. I come from a very inner city neighborhood in New Jersey. You know, our public education system did not exactly prepare me for that kind of future. And you know what, while I'm on the subject, it's not a coincidence that our inner cities are filled with Latinos and Blacks. It's not a coincidence that these inner city communities do not have the adequate resources to fund their schools and to fix their infrastructure. None of this is an accident, because it's one thing to know it because you've experienced it or you can observe it, but it's another thing to study it, to understand the history of this country, to understand why things are the way they are. I've studied it. I understand. So when people ask me, well, what do we do? What's the next step? I'm not psychic. I don't actually know what's going to happen. But one thing that I am is a student of history. And I can tell you that history repeats itself. I'm sure you've heard that proverb, you know, those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. And there are patterns that emerge. But this is what I can tell you. This is what I do know. Trump controls the party, totally. It's undeniable. Now, Trump controls the federal courts. Now he controls up to and including the Supreme Court. He controls the Senate. It looks like he's going to control the House. Trump wants to fire all civil servants of the government and replace them with Republican loyalists. Yes, men, from start to finish. This Giga Trump term that we're going to see is going to be far worse than what we saw the first time, because the first time he was surrounded by Republican classics, some of them who had the guts and the power to stop him, like Brian Kemp out of Georgia, who refused to not certify the results like Trump told them to do. And even Vice President Mike Pence, who said, no, I'm going to do what the Constitution told me to do, and I'm going to read these ballots out like I'm supposed to. And then Trump consequently sicked the mob against him when they sacked the Capitol. There's not going to be any of that this time. There's not going to be any adults in the room. This is it. Most of the state legislatures are now captured by Republicans. There's no one left to stop him. He can do whatever he wants, and there's no one who can stop him. In any case, I obviously could talk about this forever, and I have way more to share. I have a lot to say. I will say it eventually. I need a break right now. I'm going to go to the gym, and...
Okay, so he pretty much, I think you pretty much got the gist of it. And one of the things I will say about him is like, yeah, even if you don't have the wherewithal and be like, I don't have the attention span or even the academic, like, because you know what, not everybody, like, there's a lot of people who are highly intelligent, but they're not really good with academics and wanting to sit through, going through years of college and all that stuff. That can be tedious, and not everybody has the attention span where they can do that. But I have to say that because he is pretty intelligent based off of the stuff that he's saying, because all the stuff he's saying I pretty much know, and I've been telling y'all this on the show. But when it comes down to it, it's like, I feel like, you know what, use your platform to inform and educate and that sort of thing. That's the way you can go about it. That's how you can get your voice heard. So you don't need to look, TikTok is free. So that's the perfect thing that you could use. Just throw your phone on, get the information out there. And while these Democrats out here want to sit on their hands and don't want to do their damn job, that's why it comes up to us pundits who have the wherewithal, who have the education, and who have the knowledge and have been paying attention and are unplugged from the matrix that can actually bring you guys the information. So that way y'all stay vigilant and you stay awake. And so kudos to oh my God, I forgot his name just that fast. Axel. Kudos to Axel for speaking out in regards to this situation. He also said, emotionally, I'm shocked. This is what he told out about his experience seeing certain industry peers coming out in full support of Trump. He said, my heart can't understand how anyone, let alone fellow members of any marginalized community, gay, ethnic, sex worker, could support someone who conducts themselves in a way Trump does, someone who openly and purposely inspires rage, insecurity, fear, and discomfort the way Trump does. So, hold on. I was like, do I have a picture of him in here? Oh, yeah. So we'll use this in the meantime. His cute little self. But anyway, so he also added, he said, but intellectually, I can understand it. The simple truth is that these people believe they have something to benefit and they don't understand or believe the risk that the opposition has expressed. They don't believe these dangers will materialize when ironically many already have. And that's why I said, yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening. We've been telling y'all about how y'all think about how he's taking credit for, oh yeah, I fully banned abortion, all this other stuff. Yes, certain things he's done in place where people have been deported under his watch, where people have, it's been harder for people to get abortions in their states. That has all been under him. So little things of like this happening. You just haven't been paying attention, or it just hasn't been affecting you. So you don't realize it. And they're talking about that hopefully they'll have people in place that will be able to control him. I don't think so, because when you're giving people like Matt Gaetz and Vivek Ramaswamy and Amber Rose jobs in the damn White House, who's going to stop him? You want a bunch of yes people who don't have any experience of what they do, and then also giving somebody who had a military background that was a host on Fox News. I think he's the Secretary of Defense. Like, what? What experience do you have? And to me, if you really pay attention to a lot of this, you talking about getting rid of DEI and all this other mess. And I'm sitting there like, you do know that this DEI or this affirmative action shit, if you look at the people he's putting in place, this feels a lot like affirmative action. People who are not qualified for certain jobs that y'all like to run around and accuse people of. This is what they're getting. What qualifications do any of these people have in the jobs that they get? Nothing. Absolutely. They know nothing about politics. Being able to work in the field and do certain things is different than being able to run a business. It's not the same thing. Another thing that I understand for people, and this goes to show how a lot of y'all are running around here uneducated, and it's sad. There are people out here that did not know that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare was the same damn thing. There are literally people out here who do not know that they were the same damn thing. They thought it was different. Oh, I thought Obamacare was Obamacare. I wanted them to get rid of Obamacare. I'm like, you do know the Affordable Care Act, which a lot of you poor folks rely on, and Obamacare is the same damn thing. They just called it Obamacare. You know, they like to give title. I mean, this is what Trump does. I'm not saying he came up with Obamacare because he didn't. But this is what people do when they want to simplify shit for y'all because y'all need everything in TikTok, you know, or Instagram, or what is it, or like a tweet, which is like 120 words or less, because y'all need things judged down and straight to the damn point that y'all can't get past watching something past 3 damn minutes before you lose your damn attention span. That they had to cut and judge things down to make it easier for it to be indoctrinated in people's brain. And then you have people that literally use the things that you benefit from against you because they want to take the things away or whatever the case because they want to distract you while they over here stealing out the pot that we work so hard to put money in. But this is who y'all voted for, so I don't want to hear shit. But he also added, he said, but intellectually I understand. The simple truth is that these people believe they have something to benefit from. So there's that. Oh yeah, so there's another video that I have on him, and then we'll get to the other one. So they also said that, you know, besides his OnlyFans, he has 288,000 followers on the Twitter, 40,500 followers on Instagram, and 13,800 followers on TikTok as of this writing. So he's popular. And the good thing is that because he's so popular and attractive and got a great, and you know what, this is the overall thing that I love. Shout out to all the porn stars out here that got a brain. Because there's always a stereotype that there's a lot of adult performers who are just dumb as a box of rocks and just, you know, just be cute and suck a dick or take a dick up your butt. That's how a lot of y'all think. But I love people like him and so many others, and I want more of you to come out and speak out because to me, it looks, I feel as if you can use not only the head between your legs, but you can use this noggin up here on top of your head, on top of your shoulders, and use that as an opportunity to educate and inform. And you know, that's how you could trick them too. Because if you're attractive and you're smart, they'll follow you for the vapidness of it all. Because oh, he's hot. But then when he opens his mouth, it's like, okay, now he's smart too. So now I want to hear what he got to say. He might be able to turn some people. Like I've seen in a lot of these comments. So yeah, there's another video that he did where he wants to talk about dead Trump voters. I don't hate you. Oh, I think he meant dear Trump voters. I don't hate you, but I'm disappointed. And this is what he really thinks. So we have that clip, and then we'll get to the other people that are talking about him or going against their peers. Why is it not moving? Let me refresh.
I want to make something clear because I know that I have friends and I know that I have people who follow me who did vote for Donald Trump. And I just want you to know that just because you voted for Donald Trump, I don't hate you. You know, I'm not one of those people that are like, block me, unfollow. That I'm not one of those because in my mind, uh, I think that you're being manipulated. I think that you did what you did because you're being manipulated. Yes, there are some Trumpublican pieces of shit out there. I personally don't think I know any. I haven't seen any in any of my socials, so I haven't felt compelled to make any changes. Um, but I do think you're a very foolish person. I've engaged with so many people on the subject why they're voting for Donald Trump, and the reasons they give me range from, well, these people, the people who were selfish, I don't know that well. I don't know personally that well, but everyone else who gave me reasons that were completely just unmoored, just divorced from reality, um, does not take long for you to have done a little bit of research to figure out that this simply just doesn't make sense or it just isn't true. The fact of the matter is that Americans fundamentally do not understand how their own government works. They simply don't understand who's in charge of what. Even the simplest things like how a bill becomes law, who's responsible for, like, they simply don't understand how their own government works. And you know, for some reason they just take Trump at his word. I don't really understand that because he has shown himself to be a demonstrative liar. At every opportunity, he will fucking lie his ass off, lie to your face, and somehow people rationalize it. I mean, there's also the aspect that Trumpublicanism is a cult. I mean, remember when he said that he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose support? I'm sorry. I don't think that's appropriate for anybody who wants to be in charge of anything to say, let alone president of the United States. And only people who are in a cult would rationalize that and think that that kind of speech is okay. I've spoken to two people who I don't really know that well, who gave me reasons that they supported him that might be true. I don't think are very noble. The first was an Israeli who told me that he wanted Trump to help Netanyahu expand Israel and take over whatever's left of the unincorporated Palestinian territories. Not a reason that I agree with. Totally plausible outcome. The other was a guy in Miami who had a lot of Bitcoin holdings and is already very wealthy. And he thinks that Trump is going to be really good for Bitcoin, which is totally possible. Personally, I'm not against Bitcoin. I am against ending monetary policy. That's a whole other video in and of itself. But yeah, he's rich. He just wants to be more rich. Very selfish. Very not demure. Not a guy who I want to be good friends with.
Well, isn't that usually how it is, though? Is that the reason they only support each other is because it's like rich people just want to maintain their wealth. So I think that was another turnoff when it came to the Democrats. So, oh yeah, we're gonna give them the tax cuts and all this. We're gonna tax them or whatever the case was, and then they got mad about it. So that's what it is. It's like when you get rich, it's like is that you don't have enough money in your account. You want more. But that's what it is. A lot of people are just greedy and selfish. And we realized, I don't think more people realized this during the way that people voted. It was as y'all were all into how it was going to help you rather than voting for your best interest. You were voting against it. So he basically was saying like how he feels that the Trump presidency is going to be far more dangerous now than ever before because he won the presidency the first time because because of the Electoral College. Now this time people legitimately voted for him. So while we could say it was a fluke the first time, we can't say that the second time. But I don't know. It's just the whole immunity and everything that's been going on with Trump. Like he gets away with murder, and it just goes to show that at the end of the day, white people, you can be white, rich and wealthy, or white and wealthy, and nothing sticks to you. Rules don't apply to the white folks. So I don't know. It is a pretty long article when it comes to him, but if y'all want to definitely read that, you can go over to Out. And you can also go over to what is it? Oh, you can go to my website at thekrisavalon.com. I did post the thing there. But in the meantime, so let's move on because I don't want to sit and stick on one person. Otherwise, this segment will be probably like 40 minutes. So let's go over to Bruce Beckham. So Bruce Beckham is also another person that is speaking out against sorry, not Bruce Beckham, Bo Butler. I just said the wrong damn name. Sorry. So Bo Butler is actually, someone who's another gay adult film star who's over 660,000 followers on Twitter, 245,000 on Instagram, and maintains an active OnlyFans profile. So he basically is the one I was telling you about that opened up about Devin Franco and spilled some tea on him. So he said the following. He said, me and Devin were Falcon Studio exclusive models together for a couple of years. He was there for a couple of years before me, and I was on a while after him. This is what he told Out. Saying we worked together for about 3 or 4 times, which is a lot in the adult cinematography world. I thought we were pretty close. I made a comment under his pro-Trump post, nothing too crazy. And I saw he had immediately blocked me, probably because he was embarrassed that you've seen that side of him. But honey, if you're going to sit up here and post this mess on social media, you shouldn't be embarrassed. Stand behind your shit. This is why I keep telling people, it's like, stand on business. If you feel that there's nothing wrong with supporting Trump and his ideologies, stand on it. Clearly, deep in your heart, there's some shame behind it, which is why y'all acting the way y'all acting. So Butler makes it clear that he's been completely blindsided by some of his industry peers coming out as being pro-Trump. He explained the following. He said, I am totally shocked to see that they are Trump supporters. Shocked. All these signs were there for a while that Trump has a major hold on the disenfranchised white males. Some of my best friends, straight, super liberal husbands, began dropping hints that they were leaning towards Trump based on the media they were consuming, which were talking heads on YouTube. When asked about where the gay porn industry stands politically, Butler believes that there are a lot more conservatives than the ones who are admitting it. Say, my close friend admitted it to me, and it made me realize that I actually live a very isolated bubble. Elon Musk's Twitter has really opened my eyes to how much conservatives have used trans individuals as the scapegoat for this election. Butler also went on to reaffirm his stance on the Israeli-Hamas war, telling Out, I want to say that I'm firmly against the war in Gaza. I remember the George W. Bush years from when I was a kid. My dad told me about the Bush senior presidency. Republicans have always been synonymous with massive damage in the Middle East. So I couldn't believe how many people were trashing Dems this election. Which I said too, which was weird that how the Cheneys and stuff started aligning themselves with Kamala Harris, especially when Liz's father was very much behind the weapons of mass destruction and all that stuff, which we came to find out years later. How, them and the Bush, George W. Bush was a damn war criminal. So, what does he say? Oh, he also continued by saying, in Trump's 4 years in office, he was able to stack a Supreme Court and have upended a 50-year precedent on abortion. These are religious zealots in the Supreme Court appointed by Trump. They've said it themselves that this is just the beginning. Again, none of y'all was listening or paying attention, or maybe that the Democrats were just too far gone and asleep to realize what the hell was going on. So Butler also shared his thoughts on the conundrum of people in the adult film industry who doesn't seem to be concerned with some of Trump's campaign talking points, saying the fact that porn stars are not horrified by Project 2025, even purely from monetary stance, is dumbfounding. And this is why I don't understand how even some of these people that support him that are in adult films are supporting him. He's going to affect your livelihood. They said they have clearly said that they are coming for porn. We're already seeing certain laws sweeping the red states. You have to submit your driver's license just to watch porn in Utah. He goes on to say this is going to become a countrywide policy with Republicans controlling every single branch of government, not to mention gay marriage. They're just starting with trans rights. The list goes on and on. I protested Prop 8 in West Hollywood on the same day President Obama was elected. I remember what it was like to wake up to a ban on your rights. So I just feel like a lot of these people that's voting, maybe they've never paid attention, or they weren't aware, or they were too young to know. I don't understand. But like they said, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So it's like, yeah, we're all gonna be affected by this, but that is insane to me. I had no idea that you had to submit your driver's license to watch porn. Like, that's crazy. Especially in Utah, isn't that like where all the Mormons live? So I'm not surprised, I guess, with Utah, but I'm surprised that you literally have to submit your driver's license so that way people wouldn't actually be all up in your business of knowing what the hell you're watching. So now the final person that we have is Ruggery Valdivia, who is another standout performer who, and that's him here. Well, no, that's not him there. That was Bo. That was there, all shirtless and beefy. So now let's go to Ruggery, who was another standout gay adult star who's been speaking out against gays for Trump. Now, as a Cuban American who resides in Miami, Valdivia has been challenging one of the most confounding dilemmas in the 2024 presidential election. Latinos across the U.S. began being drawn to Trump even more than they ever have before. Now, on October 29th, Valdivia shared an Instagram picture of him filling out a mail-in ballot. He wrote in the caption, hold on. He said, today I'm voting for my LGBTQ plus family, for all the women in the country, for my trans brothers and sisters, my Latino family, democracy, decency, humanity. Today I'm voting for myself. Time to take the trash out and make sure it stays out. We got this. Well, apparently we don't. Clapping emoji. Cubans and Puerto Ricans, wake up. They don't want you or appreciate you. Let's turn Florida blue. Well, that didn't happen. But But he basically wound up getting a lot of negative comments under his post. And wound up saying the following: Trump supporters in the comment with nothing good to say than pure stupidity. Conclusion: the stupid party has entered the chat. Like, y'all really think this? Like, y'all really do think this dumb? I can't even. So on November 4th, the day before Election Day, Valdivia shared a video arguing against the usual talking points used by LGBTQ plus Latinos trying to justify their vote for Trump, that the Republican Party candidate isn't actually against gay people and that he's never said anything of the sort. Well, clearly, y'all must have problems with your hearing, because he has said a lot of things about the LGBTQ plus community. And I don't know why you think that just because they were going hard and they spent a lot of money, $200 million to be exact, on anti-trans rhetoric, that the gays aren't going to be affected by this. So yeah, there was a video that he did on Instagram. I have it here, and this is what he had to say about the gays for Trump. He's old.
Oh, what do you mean? But I'm a gay for Trump. He's not against gays. He's never said so.
I'm against gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care.
Sir, are you saying that if you become president, you might try to appoint justices to overrule the decision on same-sex marriage?
I would strongly consider that, yes.
What do you say to a lesbian or a gay man who are married and say?
I really don't say anything. I mean, I'm just, Jake, I'm for traditional marriage.
Oh, but that's old. I'm sure he didn't mean it, or he would have done something during his last 4 years as president. Oh, but what did he do? He appointed 2 conservative Supreme Court justices. And now he can. Nah, I'm sure he won't do anything. He's just bluffing. But it just so happens that his entire campaign runs on a platform of conservative Christians in this nation that consider you a sinner. Because as he has claimed, he's against it. And so are the people that follow him, the majority. And just it's like they rolled back on reproductive rights for women because they consider it wrong. They can very much do the same thing for LGBT plus rights. Oh, what do you mean? But I'm a gay for Trump. He's not against gays. He's never said so.
I'm against gay marriage.
Okay, so there's that. So, and this is why I constantly say to people that, yeah, just because they go after one demographic, and this is why I don't understand where people get this mindset from, that, oh, I voted against because what he said about trans people, it's not going to affect the gay community. Who said that? Because when he's done going after them, you don't think they're next? People like Donald Trump and the people he's putting in office, what they care about is, as long as you are a white heterosexual male, that is all they want in this country. Fuck women, fuck the gays, fuck the trans, fuck black people, fuck the people who are Latino, fuck the Asians, fuck all that. We just wanted your vote. I seen one coon, it was a black dude, on TikTok whining and complaining about how he was being disrespected by MAGA. He said, oh, wait, so I was used for my vote? Yes, dummy. Where the hell were you? Were you not paying attention? So when y'all sit up here and run around, please, master, please like me. Please give me some love. Please allow me to come hang out with you folks. It's like when y'all start doing that, please, sir, may I have some more with the porridge in the bowl type shit? Because y'all running around here sad and pathetic and weak-minded. And then you get these people that come against you and curse you out and call you every name in the book. And then y'all sit around here shocked. I'm going to just sit on the sideline with my damn bucket of popcorn and just watch the shenanigans unfold. That's what I'm going to do at this point. So, yeah, he had a couple of situations when then I'm going to be done with this. So, when he posted all this, oh, yeah, I did see that on his comment that somebody had posted, because I have it up here. It said MAGA 202XX, okay, whatever that dumb shit is. Oh, he said that. He said, oh, whatever people comment in the same old rhetoric. It's funny seeing people try to defend the undefendable, like you can't change him or what he says, regardless of how much he wishes he was different. He is who he is. And then somebody said, yes, Trump won, God help us. And there was a bunch of things. And they said, so I guess traditional marriage in his eyes is get married, cheat, divorce, get married, cheat, divorce, get married, raw dog, a porn star, got it. So, yeah, there's that. And then somebody in the comments, I guess, or I think he wrote it, he said Trump supporters in the comment with nothing good to say other than pure stupidity and things of that nature. And then there was another one where we already posted that one and we talked about it, and it was talking about how Trump won the 2024 elections. So if y'all are interested in following him on his Instagram post, it's Roy3TEV. And then you can, or you can go on my website. I pretty much have the links and stuff down in there regarding him. So I think I'm pretty much done with this story. It was a lot. And we broke it all down. But it's just like, you know what, at some point it's like it's just sad how easily brainwashed and manipulated a lot of people can be by listening to this idiot. And when you're radicalized and somebody beat you in the head with all this information, especially when you're watching certain pundits or whatever on social media, like with YouTube or wherever the kids are getting their information from, because quiet as it's kept, a lot of people aren't. Yeah, the older people are watching Fox News, but a lot of the younger men are not watching Fox News. They're watching a lot of pundits and on social media, a lot of YouTube shows. I mean, look, me, prime example, I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. I tend to watch more YouTube, and it's free, versus paid cable programs or paid streaming service programs. I mean, a lot of the shows I watch are not from like nut jobs. Like I told you, I watch Brian Michael Cohen. I watch people of that nature, Pod Save America. There's a lot of highly intelligent, democratic, progressive Democrats out here who are really giving you the real tea in regards of what's going on and stuff. So those are the ones I watch. I'm not out here watching fucking that dummy, Tucker Carlson and all these other morons. I know what the hell they talking about. Talking a bunch of stupidness because they grifting for a job and for power and being in the White House. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story, especially in regards of gay adult stars? We had to show one side, and now today we got to flip the coin and show the people that are really out here trying to inform the community about how dangerous Donald Trump is and the people that he's employing to take over our country. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so it said, okay, so Felix, I'm going to go see the Bob Dylan biopic. Onyx says just Melania has no plans to move in the White House full time. Oh yeah, I did see that. I think Robert sent me something about that yesterday in regards of like how she planned on staying in her New York City, staying in New York City in the mansion. I'm like, I didn't even know she was in New York. So I guess she's gonna stay out here, but she's not playing. And this is like, how is this allowed? But it goes to show that they Republicans can do whatever the hell they want. They can stomp their feet and talk about no transfer of power and all this other stuff, whine, complain, bitch and moan, whatever. But the Democrats always have to take the high road. They always have to be the more diplomatic one in the room. They always got to reach across the aisle, while they could just do whatever the hell they want. Because I guarantee you, if Kamala Harris would have won and her husband would have pulled this same stunt, they would have been having a field day on social media talking about this and on Fox News and, running this into the ground. So I just don't understand how she's allowed, because this is not something she wants to do. We all know the only reason why he won or he ran is because he doesn't want to go to jail. But you know what? When you close your eyes and you have to go to them pearly gates, you got to answer to somebody, and you ain't getting in with all the shit you've been doing. Saying they realize that Jesus betrayed them based on who he wants in office and goes against their interests. Oh, well, Cope, this is what you voted for. And that's going to be my anthem. I'm going to be like, that's who you voted for, so now stand on business. I don't want to hear it. Sometimes people got to learn the hard way. I told you sometimes you got to take a sledgehammer upside people's head to knock some sense into them. Robert says he basically put himself in another guardrail, and a non-MAGA moderate Republican is the Senate Moderate Speaker, and that pissed MAGA off. So Trump is going to have a hard time getting shit passed. Of course. That's what's like the one thing, and I've been noticing, and I've been paying attention to this. What people said is that all that stuff you was talking in, the media and in the rallies, so it's funny how y'all run y'all mouth, and you think you can just give word salad and just have diarrhea of the mouth, and nobody's going to pay attention. Because what they said is like, now, because you said all the stuff you said, MAGA is going to hold you to what you said. Oh, you wanted us to vote for you. You gave us your word that you're going to do this, 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 and this. So you have to deliver, and they're going to have to deliver on some stuff. So with him, with all this bigotry stuff, it is going to have a hard time getting things passed, because there's some people in office that have now got a job. Especially, there was this girl who just became like the first trans, I think, congresswoman of, I think it was Delaware. So there's a lot of things that's, happening. It's not all doom and gloom, which is mad. Onyx says, I'm also passionate about politics, and I've thought about going to college to study political science, but the degree is kind of worthless. And especially when they just putting anybody in politics. You ain't even got to have a damn degree. Amber Rose. And we ain't talking about that little, crackerjack one you got from College Hill. Did she even graduate from that stupid show? All I remember her was her and Jocelyn fighting. Clueless in the classroom, genius when left alone, pretty much describes me and him. And it said the Democratic Party seems like a college-educated only club at times. They get on my damn nerves. And it said Trump supporters are really angry at themselves. They know they were wrong, so now they project their guilt over betraying those they claim to love as anger. It's like being in a like one of those passive aggressive abusive relationships. I'm glad I'm too strong to be in one of those. Because first of all, anybody put their hands on me and try to do that passive aggressive shit, you getting punched in your face. Like, I don't do relationships in that way. Like, you can't get over me with some stuff. That's probably why I'm single. Because it's like there's a lot I don't tolerate. And I'm fine with it. I get my friendships from my friends. And living in New York, if I need to stick my dick in somebody, it's not that hard to find somebody to fuck. Trust and believe. But relationships, no. I get tired of y'all after a while. I need people to leave me the hell alone. It's the Virgo thing. Like, it's like, okay, I'm tired. Leave me alone. Go over there. I need to be by myself. I like my own company. Thank you. Oh my, could he make Meek Mill scream out for help? No. Every president in the last 30 years has been a war criminal. Let's not forget when Obama said, child, we all know they all war criminals. That's why I'm like, y'all sitting up here and talking about this free Palestine. I'm like, please. If we all not please the free Palestine, I get it. But if y'all realize what our country was built on, genocide and war, hello, how do you think they stole it from the native damn American? Genocide. We the king, and we the kings of genocide over here. That's why I would never want to be president. Because if the truth thing came out with people, we wouldn't make it. So it said, yeah, that's why I was like, I remember that. They all been, guilty of dropping bombs in places. Miami-Dade County turned red this year. Not good news. No. And that's weird, because it's like Miami is supposed to be the liberal part of Florida. But you realize the people that's moving out there, they leaving New York and they going down there. Younger people in general don't watch cable TV. I would watch Fox News to get the conservative viewpoint on certain issues. Yeah, that's what I was like. Young people are not watching cable television. That's why I was like, in the future, these politicians, not Republicans, because they already mastered the art of it. They did it with this campaign. But Democrats need to realize, like, yeah, y'all gotta do the other conglomerates. I gotta go on the you gotta be willing to put yourself in the hot seat, and you have to be able to go on a lot of these podcasts. So there is that. Okay. So it looks like we're done with today's show. I was like, oh, look, I did a show under 3 hours. I won't say that's a first, because I've done shorter shows before. So we are at the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. If you have not already, please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button, and also smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Probably not going to be on tomorrow. I'll probably come back on Friday and give you all a show, because I'm going to be busy and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Oh, you said, why are Democrats having a hard time accepting the election results? I don't know. I feel it is some type of sorcery and witchery. If they want to contest it, they can. They have a right to do that. Of not being willing to accept it, because if the shoe was on the other foot and Kamala Harris won, you already know that Trump would have been throwing a damn temper tantrum. He would have been all over Truth Social and Twitter and all these other places spewing his BS. So if the other side would have done it, if the shoe was on the other foot, then the other side should be able to do it as well. So That's how I see it. But anyway, love you all for watching. As I said before, hit that like button and that subscribe button, and as well as that notification button. Love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.